2, 3, 4. Hey, everybody, Jim and Sam are here. Sing it like, hey, are you ready? Jim and Sam are here. Feel it like, hey, everybody, Jim and Sam are here. So if you feel it like I do, you gotta sing it with me too. Like, hey, everybody, Jim and Sam are here. Yeah.
Sam and I were snapping to this unironically.
Same time, too. We started
Zero
at
irony.
exactly the same time.
And then we looked at each other and realized we should do it like we're being ironic. We weren't.
No.
We're both just arrogantly enjoying a theme song with our name in it.
I still dance to it in the morning.
Yeah, it's peppy.
It's a peppy song. Kids sing it. I get little text messages and videos on Twitter and stuff of people having their children sing the song.
Yeah,
Great.
I like that too.
I do.
The kids are not always treated that kindly on Twitter.
No, not always. I hope they don't check.
People have comments. Two things. One is I'm so tired. I feel like stoned. I was literally 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just laying in bed, wide awake for no reason.
I was doing the same thing. It wasn't 3 o'clock, but it was like at like midnight. I got out of bed to shave. Like I was like, I gotta do something. So I got out of bed. Jess had been asleep for like 2 hours already, and I just got out. The electric. I just started shaving because I was like, I got to do something.
I would love to bash you for that.
Yeah.
11:30, I hopped to the shower and I shaved because I have a trainer today who I think is attractive.
What a couple of weirdos.
At least you have a reason, though.
No,
Yeah, that's
But good for someone.
I was sitting there like,
Just play video games.
that's a good point.
What a shame.
I was sitting there, head on the pillow, and like 3-day-old scruff that was rubbing against the pillow, and I was like, I better shave. I don't know if I'll have time in the morning. I think I got to shave right now. I'm not going to be able to sleep if I don't shave. Now I'm uncomfortable. Now I'm thinking about it too much. I better go shave.
Oh, weird dude.
How long did it take you?
15, 20 minutes.
Did it take you that long to shave your face?
Well, because I use the, maybe not 15, maybe it was like more like 10 or 15 minutes.
It takes me literally 3.1 minutes, if that.
But I got to use an electric.
Why?
Because I get bumps otherwise.
Black people get those bumps. Right.
And so I got to use an electric, and it's a whole thing.
I think Sam's
really
got a lot more in his head than he lets on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's mentally ill.
You think my bumps are in my head?
No, I just think...
Mental illness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mental.
Yeah,
Troy and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
You can hide it very well, though.
No, he doesn't. Weird tactile things with food, the tasting, the feel of food in his mouth, the whole fucking...
Rituals. He has a lot of rituals.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just like one of those fun kids in the Apple Jacks commercials. We eat what we like. That's all.
A is for apple. No, it starts with an F. So,
Yeah.
you have OCD, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. I just get struck with things. And I'm like, I better go do this. I better do this right now.
Yeah. That's
And
like,
I was
kind of
like-
like Prince would create. That's how Prince would do music.
Right.
That's how you shave.
Exactly. I'm like the prince of shaving.
Yes.
And as Jess is sleeping, I have to, the bathroom is attached to the bedroom. And we don't even have like a real like door. It's a sliding door, into the bathroom. So I shut the door and everything. But obviously it's an electric razor. Bzzz, and I'm sitting there going like, oh, I'm going to have to explain this to Jess if she wakes up and just hears me in the bathroom shaving. But then I was like, yeah, at this point, she'll be like, oh, this is just...
She'll understand.
It's just something he's doing.
She'll hope it's your head you're doing.
Right.
That's kind of... it's weird to wake up because it's bothering you on the pillow.
Yeah, no, it was just... Because, I don't know, sometimes you're sitting there and you're not sleeping and you're just concentrating. There's nothing in front of you to get you going. There's nothing. So you just start concentrating on weird shit. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I better go jerk off because that way I won't have to think about jerking off anymore. And then I can go to sleep. Sometimes you go like, you know what? I won't think about shaving anymore if I just shave.
I keep jumping up to pee, like when I'm wide awake. I don't know, it's just something to do. I feel like, okay, I'll do this, then I'll go to sleep.
Right.
And I could not. I don't know why. There was no reason for it.
Well, especially for you, because you just piss the bed and sleep in it.
It's even better. Nice and warm.
Wouldn't it be funny if in an effort to like you're like, you know what? Let me just wet the bed one more time and then I'll just fall asleep.
Let me just fall asleep. I'll go over on that side.
Yeah, you had a piss side of the bed. So you roll over, you piss, and then you're like, okay,
roll back to the right.
Now I should be able to sleep. 15 minutes later, you're like, oh, let me piss a little more on the other side of the bed again.
I really don't know why I'm like that. I'm always fucking, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
I guess insomnia is whatever, people have it.
I was tired all day. I was like, okay, because I didn't sleep that much the night before. And then I get into bed and I'm like, all right, nope, we're still good to go. We're still running on all cylinders.
Yeah, I was so tired yesterday morning that my trainer afterwards, I was getting fucking cunty with her because she was like, all right, do 12. And I would be on like 11. And she'd be like, all right, 4 more. I'll be like, it's 11. I was so cunty yesterday in the gym because I was just like, when you.
This wasn't the trainer that you're trying to impress with your cleanly shaven face.
No, this is the one I dated at one point.
Oh.
Who was still a good friend of mine.
But if the trainer that you shave for, if she was doing that, you wouldn't yell at her.
No, but I would still be firm and not do extra reps.
Good.
I can't.
Good.
I can't do the cardio. It's like whenever you tell them you're tired, they always make you do weird shit, like squat curls. It's like, oh, fuck yourself.
Why would you do this to me?
I don't want to.
Yeah, work through it. You're like, no.
No, my trainer, I can't deal with that. I can't take being yelled at.
You don't like that at all?
No, that whole energy. I'm like, come on, let's go. Come on.
You got one more in you.
No,
I don't. We agreed to the number.
Yeah. I don't have one more in me.
Yeah. We already decided on a number, and that's the number we'll do.
We're lucky we've gotten this many. Consider yourself fortunate that I've done 6. Yeah. And one more bit of depressing news is the Paramount Theater is probably about a third sold already. Chip is selling faster than I do.
Really?
A third?
Yeah.
I would say it's easily half.
Oh, man, is it half?
I mean, you can look at the map when you go to buy tickets on Ticketmaster. Half the venue's gone.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh my God!
I don't know if all those top ones have been put on sale. I don't know what the number I got was. But then again, I got the number yesterday at the end of the business day, and it was about a third. So maybe you're right, Travis. Maybe it's close to half at this point. I haven't checked.
Wow. That's
If you look at just
this. That's
look.
Oh yeah,
That's a lot that's been sold.
yeah. That is actually better than it was.
That's pretty impressive. Goddamn hilarious.
Yeah. So Chip at the fucking September 15th in Long Island is selling better than Jim Norton did.
How many does the Paramount sit?
It's either 900 or 1,000.
1,000 people going to see.
That's if it sells. I mean, I don't.
Look, there's a lot.
You're going to sell out.
Yeah.
No, there's no way you're not going to sell out.
Yeah, that's one day. You're absolutely going to sell that.
And Boston goes on sale Friday.
Anybody who's listening, they need to buy tickets to these shows, just regardless of what the show is, just to so that Chip can sell 1,000 tickets. Like, that's so funny.
Yeah, it would be funny. I just got to build a show and figure out what to do.
Right. You're like, oh, shit. You were kind of in the back of your head thinking that, well, if this doesn't sell, and there's still like 200, 300 people, whatever, there'll be so few people there that we can kind of just fuck around. But now if you sell out and there's 1,000 people there to see, you got to come up with a show, dude.
I'm going to. You do understand that the goal someday is to see the sign Chip Chipperson at Carnegie Hall for an evening of tepid laughter. That's the goal.
Chip is going to play Carnegie Hall. You'll get there.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to record it?
Yeah, I'll record these live ones. I got 2 live ones coming. Of course, it's just fun to do live shows. It's different than but I got to have stuff planned. And
kind of wish you hadn't blown your rock load on that anniversary show at the
Village Underground.
At the Village Underground. It would have been nice to hear 1,000 people cheer when the rock pops up on the screen.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? It worked on that one and made it. I can't believe it's been a year since. It's been a year.
Although
it'll be a year since we did that first one.
It would be funny if Chip just used the rock clip again, and it was out. Like, clearly that wasn't cut for this show.
Oh.
We should talk, I guess.
Yeah. Sam has very good Chip ideas.
We're all a little Chip somewhere in us.
That's very funny.
You know?
Sam is the one who came up with the idea of the Chip reboot. You're the one who said you should reboot it, and that's why I waited 1 week.
But there's no difference.
No, it's the same fucking show. Except he wears a tie in most of them now.
I love that it says reboot. It's the same exact thing.
It's the same thing.
It's only been 1 week off.
Yeah, that was Sam's idea. So yeah, Sam has great ideas. Anyway, I thought that I was happy and kind of like, yep, I guess that's where it's headed.
It's amazing.
That's where the old career's going.
You know, there was a very Chip thing that happened with this guy. This story was just this morning. It was trending on Twitter, and I was like, we have to talk about this. Arson charges have been filed against a volunteer firefighter. This kid, he's 18. I think he's like right outside of Pittsburgh. He set a duplex on fire because he wanted to go put the fire out.
Do you know I've heard that before, guys that have done that?
Do people just sign up to be firefighters because they want to be heroes and then go like, oh, I gotta have the opportunity to exercise. I gotta be a hero.
Yeah, I think people want to come in and save the day. And
or they love fire.
That could be it too.
Right.
They also love fire. Yeah, I'm looking for a deeper reason. You're right, Travis. They just love fire.
Yeah, they love. That's like all arsonists go back to see the crime, right? They all go back to see the fires that they set.
Oh, what a bunch of creeps.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
David Berkowitz used to do that.
Right. Maybe it's not a fire thing. I mean, maybe it's not a hero thing. Maybe this guy is so obsessed with fire, he wants to control it. He wants to know that he set it and he put it out.
People saw him in the area. What an asshole. People saw him in the area before, and then they saw him return as a firefighter.
He used to live there.
No, I'm sorry.
Idiot.
I'm a firefighter. I always wear my firefighter gear. You must have seen somebody else.
Yes, he brought the red truck, started the fire.
Yeah, they said, I think that he put, what was it, a lighter and a couple pieces of paper in a microwave. Is that right?
Yep.
So he broke into the duplex. The duplex was, nobody lived there. And there was a microwave in there. So he threw a lighter and 2 pieces of paper in there. And he just set the microwave on and he walked away.
Is that how you do it?
That's one way to do it, I suppose. I guess that would start a fire.
I guess. I've done it. When I left the house this morning, I left 2 pieces of paper in there. 40 minutes.
Did you put a lighter in with it?
Oh, no.
That's okay. You'll be fine then.
No.
You'll be totally
I just set
fine.
them on fire.
Okay.
Oh, the lighter will break. It will explode.
Right, and all the fluid will come out or whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, so he and people saw him. Like they saw him going into the house. I'm sure people were suspicious because they were like, nobody lives in that house. What's that guy doing
What's
in?
that ass doing in there, running?
And then probably what, 20, 30 minutes later, he pulls up in a fire truck and they go, that's definitely the same guy. That's clearly the same man.
Wow.
And so he set the duplex on fire. And it's a terrible thing to do.
The other guys can fall. The other guys can get killed going to fight the fire.
Of course, it's not just you going in to fight the fire. Also, look at where the house is. It's surrounded by trees and wires and other people's houses.
What an absolute dick.
Just a total idiot.
Yeah, you wonder if, but that's pretty, there are guys that I've heard of doing that before, and they just he wanted to respond to a fire. He just wanted to respond to a fire.
I feel like volunteer firefighters and people like that, you have to be very careful about who you hire, because when you're too eager to be that hero, you're going to do crazy shit like this. When you have that Messiah complex or whatever it is, Jesus complex.
Yeah. Do you know who's a firefighter? Stipe Miocic, the heavyweight champion in the UFC, is a real firefighter.
Really?
He goes out and fights fire. He's like one of those guys. He just loves doing it.
He's just he must be just an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, or just an alpha. He just wants to do man shit. I bet when he's not working, he eats kielbasa and shits. But it's just some guys that just like doing it. Firefighters are crazy. There was a kid named Doug. He was my age growing up, and like his family was firefighters.
Best friend Doug.
He wasn't my best friend. I did hit him in the ear with a snowball one year, and I think it bled, and his older brothers frightened me. They're going to beat me up. But the whole family is fucking firefighters, and these guys, they just love, they're obsessed with firefighting. I don't understand the attraction to that profession, but it's a family thing. It gets passed down. They're crazy people.
I had friends from high school that like much later on, like 10 years after high school, joined the volunteer firefighters. And they were like, oh man, you should join too. It's so awesome. We're doing this and we're doing that. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No. Jess came to me after they were talking about it and she was like, do you think you want to do that? I mean, it sounds like it's a lot of it is just a fun social club. And I'm like, no, number one.
She wants you to fight fires?
I was like, I don't want to fight fires. And I don't even like social clubs. So on no level would this work for me.
But how awful is it if you're on the top floor screaming for help and you look down and you see Sam looking up at you with a fireman's hat?
I'm trying to steady the hose, but it's going crazy.
How fucking horrifying. I'm going to drop my baby. All right, and just watch it fall.
Right, okay. Drop your baby then. It's not mine.
Yeah, there's a mentality that goes into that. I don't get. I mean, they're obviously really brave people.
You wouldn't join the volunteer firefighters?
No. Fuck volunteer?
Mm-hmm.
Just show up for free?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
No way.
No
way. I respect firefighters, but I always feel like when they show up to stuff that they don't need to show up to, it's a waste of them. Like
floods? Like when a fucking grown man has a flood in his apartment on New Year's Day?
That's exactly right.
And it was 4 firefighters and 2 cops come in? And they were disgusted.
They were.
I should have been standing there in fucking heels. They were disgusted.
Hello, boys. Are you here to help?
Yeah, you gonna help me put out my fire, boys?
They wouldn't have at all been surprised if they found one of those firefighter calendars in your bathroom.
They were so disgusted at my pussyishness. They were really unhappy with me.
Yeah. Now, you're a 50-year-old man, correct?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Just wanted to get that for the record.
I'm standing there in water. I was hoping they'd help me like clean up.
Yeah.
They didn't.
They wouldn't clean up. They wouldn't. You wanted them to like mop up for you.
You don't think like you're
Right.
in such a crisis, but they do come to stuff they don't necessarily have to.
Well, yeah.
They have axes.
I learned from the program that I watched, 911, that a lot of these firefighters are the first responders.
Yes, they are.
So they just are the first responders to emergencies. Whether there's a fire, whether a bouncy castle blows off a cliff. By the way, a whole bunch of people on Twitter sent me a story. A bouncy castle actually blew down a mountain in real life.
Was anybody killed? But it's probably empty.
I don't know. In the program 911 that I watch, there were 4 children and an adult inside.
Yeah, it sounds really harrowing.
Yeah,
it sounds harrowing.
it was tough. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, do you
Now?
want to? I mean, we have guests from 9 o'clock on.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it.
I wouldn't mind doing it.
I think it's going to be really fun.
Is there one thing? The one thing I want to get to real quick before we do
Yes.
is Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
We
that
should
too.
definitely do that. Pulls a girl on stage to sing. Is it Mad City or MAAD?
Mad City.
Okay, it is Mad City, and she has the nerve. She's a white fan. He brings her on to sing his song, and she has the nerve to sing the N-word that he fucking wrote.
By the way, the song Mad City. Can we play a little bit of Mad City, actually, just to put it in context? So she's playing this show in Alabama, and it's a festival. So, big festival. Let me tell you something. In Alabama, you're going to get a lot of white people at a festival, and that's fine.
Pyros and Crips.
So this is the song that's being performed.
Probably got me down by the end of the song. Sing like the whole
Great song.
Go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear yak, 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 yak.
Man down, where you from, nigga? Fuck who you know, where you from, my nigga? Where you
Yeah, if you don't want fucking,
my nigga?
yeah.
This mad city I run, my nigga.
It's weird that word rhymes with itself.
It really is a great word. It rhymes with itself. But and then you bring a white fan on stage. Can we see this where she comes on?
So, yeah, he brings a white girl on stage, and he's like, you sing along. Like the movie Rockstar. He's like, no, you do it. I don't know if he's looking for the next Kendrick Lamar or what he's doing. But this white girl gets on stage, and he's having her sing that part of the song. How do you think it's going to go?
He knows what he's doing.
He's got
It's
to.
100%. It's a fucking.
It's a trap.
Yeah, I think Colin had the way of phrasing it, which is creating a dragon and then slaying it,
Right.
which is a fake, phony. I think that's how he phrased it. It was really brilliant the way he put it. But that's what it is. It's putting this thing up and going, oh my God, let me stop this. It's like, you put it there, dummy.
Yeah.
You invited her on to sing it. You wrote the fucking song.
It's entrapment
Oh,
in every sense of the word.
ugh.
It doesn't seem like, I don't
What
know.
a
I look
douche.
Kendrick Lamar so much beyond doing something like this. I'm kind of surprised that he would.
It's cornball. It's like,
Right.
you cornball.
Unless he was thought it would be some kind of political statement, but
It's
he
not.
really is. Like, he doesn't do sensationalized interviews. Like, he doesn't do publicity stunts.
You want to make a
Kendrick.
statement? How about you say you're going to fucking write music without using that word? If you want to make a statement, how about you say, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use that word in my music.
Snoop Dogg tried to do that, and then he went back to it.
But again, okay, if you can't get away from it, then just admit the word has more power than just being hateful. That is what it is.
Sounds cool when rappers say it.
It does.
Really cool.
But then don't ask white fans to come on and say, don't cry when white people sing it when it's your lyric, dummy.
You know why white people like rappers so much? Because rappers are cool. And that's one.
But they're not that cool anymore. This type of shit is not cool. This is like, what are you, a fucking suburban mom? Oh, don't say that word.
And I love that all the white people are like, yeah, I wouldn't have done that. Like, what do you, like the white people are booing her? Listen to the clip.
Are you ready? You ready? What's your name?
Lady.
Make some noise for the lady right now.
She looks like Patton Oswalt.
I love what a comparison Patton Oswalt has become. Like, that
I
just
know.
is an instant descriptive, and you're like,
It's
I
never
got
good
it.
for a lady.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not, no.
No lady's like, ooh, our Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
Said where we started at. I told you every time.
Swear I got you.
She's having a good time.
Yeah.
Feeling confident.
Sure, she should be. She got called up on stage to sing a song she knows the words to.
She
that
knows she
he
can do
wrote.
it.
She
Yeah.
can do it, of course.
She's like, oh, you know what she's thinking in her head right now? These guys are going to be so impressed. I'm just some white girl from Alabama.
That's right.
And wait till they find out. I know all the words to Mad City.
Yeah.
I mean, every word.
Daddy says this in the kitchen.
Rules and Crips all got along. They probably got me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear
There it is. She let the first one go.
And the outraged white people in the audience can't believe it.
You can hear them.
What
She
fuck-
said it.
Can I tell you something? If black people hate white people, white people deserve it.
Right.
What fucking fakes?
Phonies.
Oh.
She also gets a little louder every time she says it.
But she probably loves it. She's getting away with it.
First
like, oh, I
one.
did it
First one, she was like, I'm not doing it. Second one,
She didn't
was
do it
like,
on the first one, right? That's right.
Second one, she was like, wait, I'm on stage singing this song. It'd be foolish not to. Third one, she was like, I said it. Now I'm gonna say it.
Well, she's probably thinking, only a complete fucking asshole fake would write a song, invite me on to sing the lyrics, and then cry like a baby when I sing the lyrics.
Wouldn't it be great if she was like, before we start the song, Kendrick, the N-word is uttered in it. Is there a word I can replace it with? Because I'm not comfortable with this.
Or can I have a pass?
Yeah, Kendrick. Because part of me thinks...
He gave her a pass. First of all, you don't need a pass, but if they want to use that, if you want to use that expression,
Yep.
but he brought her on and said, sing my song.
Here's a microphone. Microphone counts as a pass, I think. But I believe what happened here was the crowd started booing, and Kendrick was like, oh, let me go with the crowd on this one.
Maybe you're right.
I don't think Kendrick was actually offended.
You mean the Grammy? You mean what was he, a Pulitzer Prize winner? Is that
That's
what he
right.
is? The Pulitzer Prize was offended.
There's no way.
It was affected by the white audience. Their fake offense.
I think that's what
shut up.
that's what happened. I mean, and this is where we're at. I think that the audience is reacting in a way that they want approval from Kendrick, and Kendrick is reacting in a way that he wants approval from the audience.
All fake.
Nobody's offended by anything.
By the way, all this nonsense. And what's the other side of this? Is when you see college girls saying it into a fucking Snapchat video because it's so taboo to say now.
Right.
That's the pushback is now when white people say it in a fucking. Oh my God!
I can't believe I'm seeing
Check
this.
him out of school.
I can't believe it.
Oh my God!
You're now getting
up.
to the point where the artist
Ugh.
is handing you a microphone saying, please say the words to the song. And then going, oh, no. Why would you think to say that word?
Now, are fans of this guy just going, well, he stinks?
You know, I tell you, I was listening to hip hop radio this morning on the drive in, and they were like, I thought Kendrick was really nice the way he handled it. I was like, what are you guys talking
Well, of
about?
course
They got to say that.
Come
Yeah,
on.
they do. Hip hop, they do. It's time to start taming our language.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Hip hop radio. It's good. They're not fakes.
No.
It's time to tone down the lange.
No. They
Fucking tip. They've all turned into fucking Tipper Gore.
Right. It's funny. It's like yesterday on hip hop radio, I'm listening to it. Yesterday, they're talking about the shooting in Texas, and they're going like, there is kind of a culture of violence. They literally, one of the guys on the show said something about like, you know, these violent cartoons. It is influencing kids. And I'm like, what? I've been listening to rap songs about guns since I was, 10. What are you guys talking about? Like cartoons. And then the next day they're like, I don't know. I thought Kendrick was actually like, he was nice to her. So
It's fun to watch it happen to rap too. Like,
isn't it crazy?
They're these fucking badass rebels. All they want to do is fuck and do drugs and get lit. And then they're doing stuff like when Snoop came out with he should be fired. And this shit, hey, don't say that word, young lady. It's like, really, that's your fucking big victory.
Yeah, Snoop, you got arrested for murder and wrote a song about it.
And he started respecting people. He was bringing women with leashes like dogs.
Right.
The MTV, shut the fuck up.
He said he got a pocket full of rubbers and his mama ain't home. He's gonna have sex with multiple women.
I respect that. The whole rubbers part I don't get.
Don't understand
No.
that. Oh, by the way, Snoop Dogg, his first big single, the hook for it. I don't love you, hoes. I'm out the dough.
Well,
Like,
now
that's
you
not
know
nice.
he just put out a gospel record.
Oh, good. Is he Snoop line or is that just for reggae?
That was just for reggae. This is he made a gospel record to make his grandma proud.
Look, I'm not mad at Snoop Dogg. More power to him.
me
But
too.
the idea that Snoop Dogg would be outraged by anything is a little silly.
50 Cent is becoming my favorite rapper. He's the only guy that just doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks.
50 Cent talks shit about everyone,
he literally
everything.
Doesn't care what anybody thinks. He says whatever he wants. He doesn't say he apologized for it. I mean, he's like the only guy I fucking respect anymore. They're all crying. Oh, don't censor that one word.
Right.
Oh, fucking Kendrick.
Especially Kendrick, who's like such a smart guy.
Don't write it.
And like politically minded. Like he understands the layers to this stuff. If you listen to his music, I think. For this to come out with Kendrick, I'm like, what are you doing, Kendrick?
Instead of this fake empowerment, like, hey, we own this word. Just admit the truth. I like using it. Just be truthful about why you use it, because it's a word in the vernacular that you like using. It sounds cool in songs. But stop with this trying to find a reason why it's okay for you to use it as an artist. Shut the fuck up.
Or just avoid the conversation entirely by pulling a black person out of the audience and having them sing the song. Or like if it's really that big of a deal.
Make a real statement. Don't use it. If you're an artist, you're a black artist, it's fine. You don't want to use the word, make it true. Richard Pryor did it, and he didn't use it again. If Richard Pryor said it on stage, he said, I will not call a black man nigger. He said that in fucking Sunset Strip. He had a weird revelation when he was in Africa where he said, like, I haven't even thought that word since I've been here.
He's like, I don't see anybody out here that fits that description.
I haven't thought the word since I've been here. And he changed, I guess, the way he did stand-up for the rest of his life.
Just fits into hooks so well, you know?
I understand.
It just fits into those
And
hooks.
you say it a lot in breaks. Sam does use the word a lot around here.
Not with the A.
No, never with the A.
Wait.
Am I not cool enough for you? What's up, bro?
So she doesn't even really know.
No, she doesn't.
She's going, am I not cool enough for you, bro?
I didn't think the crowd was necessarily booing her for that.
It's booze.
They might have just been booing her shitty performance.
No, I think it was the N-word. Kind of, without having the conversation, figuring out if they're supposed to be mad or not. You know what I mean? The whole exercise, it's just, you know, nothing's actually happening here.
None of it's real.
No. There's
no real moment happening here other than a bunch of fake people, like a bunch of fake upset, and this artist making a fake statement and throwing a girl who is singing his music off stage.
By the way, that chick's got balls. I've seen
does.
A lot of people go to hip-hop shows, and even if you're in the audience singing along, a lot of white people will kind of just dip out with their own volume on certain words, just because, you know, you got to make sure of who's around you and who's going to take things a certain way.
But that's the whole, I can't even get, I'm not invested enough in this to get really angry about it.
No.
It's just embarrassing, and it's like you're an artist, and you invite someone to enjoy your work.
Right.
They enjoy your, do painters do that? Do fucking painters invite, I mean, I know Harvard has a black-only graduation, because that's important, but do painters do that where they have...
Don't paint it blue. You can't use the color blue. That's mine.
Hey, that's mine. Or don't look at that part. Don't enjoy that part of my work. I painted this, but I don't want you to look at this part. Don't describe this part of the painting.
The bottom right corner is only for Irish people to look at. It's just ours.
It's shit, and it's not a real statement. If you want to make a statement, I'll say it for the final time. If you think you want to make a statement about that word, don't use it in your music. Say, I'm not going to perpetuate this word, because most people that are using it, or in the public, it's all black people, and it's all rappers or people in film. It's not white artists running out. Guys in metal, honestly, he's not yelling it.
No, he is not. That would come across very, very poorly.
It probably wouldn't work.
Yeah, that would not be met well.
Yeah.
No. I would love Ozzy if he did that.
So awesome.
That would be exceptionally controversial.
If he just kept replacing fucking words in his songs with that one for no reason. Hey, I thought it was shot in the dark.
No, I would think Sharon was off her rocker at that point if she would have allowed that to happen. No, it wouldn't go over well.
But do you know what I mean? It's like that's the statement. If you want to make a statement, make that statement. If not, then just fucking don't invite people on stage to sing your stuff.
Or make a statement that you don't want white people listening and enjoying your music. It's for black people.
Like Lauryn Hill?
Absolutely.
What's that?
Like the Lauryn Hill urban myth?
Yeah, it killed her career.
Is it true? I don't even think it's true. Is it true?
I don't know if she actually said that, but that did. It's amazing how she's tied into that. That did hurt her, right?
Oh, yeah. It was a different time then, though, too.
Right.
I mean, who knows now?
Now.
I never thought something like this would happen.
Right. Now, I'll bet a lot of white people would be like, that's right.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be listening.
Especially a guy like this who's got this credibility as like this really artistic guy.
Again, I think he made a mistake here and just went with the audience, which is not what an artist should be doing.
No, what an artist should be doing is going, don't boo her. I wrote it. It's my vision.
Yeah.
And I asked her to sing it.
I asked her to sing the song. What's she supposed to do?
Well, why are you doing this in the first place?
Why are you doing it?
Because
Like,
you want to
why-
have a fake moment like this.
Like, why are you bringing? Like, I mean, maybe if it was like a little kid, and it's kind of cute to see a kid up there rapping.
Especially
I've
saying
seen
that.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Of course. But like, what are you doing that for? I just don't understand the.
It's a shit fake fucking, it's a fake statement.
Yeah, because it seems like this is the only thing that could possibly happen, especially for a song like Mad City, where where those N-bombs are frequent and right there, placed in the hook, in the beginning of the song, like it's there.
It's completely unnecessary for the song, other than the fact that you like the way it sounds. That's what you just be honest. You know
Right.
why I say cunt sometimes? Because I like the way it sounds. It's a great word. It fits what you're doing sometimes, and it's just it's a tremendous.
Stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
It's a great word. I want to lick your cunt. Yeah, I said good. But you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and go, this is why I'm using this word. You're not making a big statement by saying it every other word in a song. You're like,
clearly
he's
not.
empowering. I get it. Shut up.
It's just a word that culturally, in some contexts, see, this is crazy. In some contexts, it's like the coolest thing ever, and in other contexts, it's a horrible thing, and it's just so much power.
Hey, the NAACP supposedly buried the word in 2007.
Somebody should tell Kendrick there was a funeral for that word.
Yeah, you remember?
I remember there was a funeral, and apparently it's a zombie word now.
Yeah, it's alive and kicking.
Yeah, this is bad.
I feel like rappers use it more now than ever.
I
They
think
do,
so.
because it seems rebellious, and they like the fact that they can say it and white people can't. Like, it's one of those things where there's not much you can do that other people can't do. But it's one of those things where it kind of feels rebellious. And then a bunch of white kids are saying it in some stupid ritual for a fraternity, and the whole country acts fake upset.
15 years ago, you could use it on the radio. Like 15 years ago, they wouldn't edit it out of
Well,
songs.
the NWA's One Record has that in the title, and Tabitha Soren said it on MTV.
Could you look up that clip, please? I'd like to.
That's a good one, isn't it?
It is a good one. I'd like to hear Tabitha Soren's take on this. Tabitha Soren, a beacon of journalism. One time my dad rode a train with her and he bragged about it.
Pulled a what with her?
That's not what I said. Yeah, I wanted Tabitha Soren was she and Kurt Loder were the voices of MTV News for an entire generation.
Kurt Loder was there for a long time.
Just look up Tabitha Soren N-word. I'll bet you'll find it. I bet people have isolated it for you already.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think so. No, just a whole bunch of interviews. Just
MTV.
Maybe it kind of flew under the radar. People don't realize she said it.
I believe I've seen the clip. Quite
you
a few
have?
times.
Oh, okay.
yes.
It's great.
It's a classic.
I watched it on repeat.
Yeah, it's a classic. This is very, very racist.
I wonder if they took it down.
Yeah, because all that's coming up is Tabitha Soren interviewing Tupac.
Let me try.
I don't know.
She's still alive?
Tabitha Soren?
Yeah, what is she doing?
Just using that word over and over again.
Yeah, she probably watches that clip really loud in her house.
I think so.
She's watching TV.
She's like, hey, this is my favorite. You think that's her reel? Just that one clip?
That clip opens and closes the reel.
That's absolutely. I said this on TV.
Yeah. and then she splices it in the middle, a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Just for flavor.
Yeah, why not?
We have guests. Let me just play. We have Gillian Jacobs coming in.
Yes.
And Mauro Ronaldo is coming in at 10:30.
Yes.
And at 9 o'clock, we have Noam Dworman, who is the owner of the Comedy Cellar. And I wouldn't be at the Cellar if it wasn't for Noam. He's the guy that actually got me. I love him very much. He does the Comedy Cellar podcast with Dan Natterman. And he's just great to comedians. And they're promoting the comedycellar.com/Las Vegas.
I'm interested in talking to him about the process of getting on at the Comedy Cellar and all that.
Every fucking comedian asks me that. Every time on the road, how do I get at the Cellar? I don't know. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, what do you want me to tell
Someone
you?
sent the tape for me. Ask Rick Dorfman. He's the guy that got me in.
Let's go back to the clip from Alabama.
All right. I don't see that.
Yeah, maybe they took it off.
Poor Tabitha Soren. It was her favorite clip.
Yeah, it was a really good one.
She loved it. Do you hear people yelling, fuck you, bitch?
Yeah.
There's probably black people buy those white people so they want to show off.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, look what I'm doing.
We hate her. The black people are like, it's not that big of a deal. It's a song. I bet there are a lot of black people watching that going like, it's just the lyrics to the song.
But here's what black people are doing. They're sitting back and enjoying this. Like, look at these fucking fake assholes.
Like, let's let them all fight with each other.
Do you think black people are upset? if a white person says that on stage, it's in a Kendrick Lamar. Of course not.
In that context,
Never.
that girl on that stage, no. What's to be upset
They
about?
don't give a shit. But watching a bunch of white people run around, pretend to be angry and go, do you see me being angry? Am I okay?
Right.
Am I woke?
There's
They're
black
laughing like, you fucking idiots. Shut
Black
up.
people are just leaning over to white people going like, that's not cool, huh? I don't like that. Just to watch the white people like all run around like going like, yeah, this is terrible.
Terrible.
They're oppressing an entire race of people who I think are fabulous.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Shut your face.
My boy Rohan kind of knew the rules a little bit.
Will's just really cool, bro. You have to work.
You gotta bleep one single word though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do it?
Yeah, you did it.
I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
And now she's apologizing.
But she's nervous. She's on stage. She's
still
getting
handling it
booed.
well, though.
She is. She's got weird confidence.
She really does.
She stay up here, y'all.
No, please keep me up here. I got you. I'm sure.
She wants to say.
I got you. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah. It's more offensive that she's going like, I got you.
Yeah, it was
that's offensive.
She's also Southern.
I kept calling him bro.
Bro, come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's like when white people want to show out how cool they are.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just in a store the other day, and like this white kid just turned it on in front of this black guy.
Isn't it the best?
Yo, man, like, I don't know, man.
Oh my God.
And you're just like, oh my,
It's my favorite thing to watch.
It's
you
so
just see
uncomfortable.
right through it.
Especially when a minute later you see them go, well, yes, I'd be happy to help you. If you can just hold on 1 second, I'm going to help this gentleman. Yo, what's up, man? What you looking for?
I mean, my favorite thing on the
a
planet.
real person?
Yeah. My favorite thing on the planet used to be and I've played clips of this before, when I would do interviews with Who Kid, but I would also do interviews for my show.
Oh.
So it would be like when a celebrity would come in and do a string of pre-taped interviews, I would interview the celebrity. And then right after my interview, I would go in with Who Kid and interview them again, but with Who Kid as the host. And one of my favorite things was watching celebrities change for Who
How
Kid.
much fun is that?
It's the greatest thing ever.
To watch people, look, I obviously have no sense of identity. I'm fucking different people nude alone in my apartment. But it's fun to watch someone change their diction
Right. Some people
for the audience they're talking to.
Some people go all the way and change their dialect. Other people, like, it's just fun to watch celebrities, even if they're not changing their dialect, clearly desperate for a person to think they're cool. And they don't know who Kid is.
I change my laugh.
What do you do?
Yeah, my laugh is my regular laugh.
Right. You just go like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
But then, like, if Who Kid told you a joke, you'd go, it's not good. It's not going to work out. Go back to this poor girl
white
in
people stink.
Alabama.
You sure?
I swear.
You got it?
I promise. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
They probably got me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me every time I'm in the street. I hear
Where you from? Where you from? Mom said, this is my city. Rick, you gotta shit down memory lane. This is not.
It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Make some noise for Rohan one time.
He's saying it's over. This poor girl. She just wanted
I think
to
he
have
just realized
fun.
it was a shit idea.
Yeah.
It's a stupid idea.
I think he because if he had done this before, we would have seen clips of it before. Yeah, I think he clearly realized I made a mistake here.
Yeah. Just not that one word. Shut up.
Not that one word.
Thing to do.
It really is. It's a douchebag move.
Yeah.
And it's like, ugh.
Right. Fuck the police, but watch your
But
language.
watch that salty language.
Yeah.
They really have the fucking hip hop radio. They've turned into Tipper Gore.
It's amazing.
Hey!
It's amazing.
Don't say that.
Don't. I know what you were.
They flash guns.
Where are you from? Don't think it.
Hey,
Don't even think it. Hey.
Don't say that, young lady.
I got a gun in my right hand. Okay.
That's fine.
And my whoa.
Don't say that. Ugh.
Whoa. Put the brakes on right there.
I wish somebody would, like Jay-Z or somebody would just make an official statement so white people know what to do.
Kanye did.
What's the protocol?
Kanye did, but unfortunately, hip-hop is not behind him anymore.
Yeah.
That's the issue. If a hip-hop artist was like, okay, everybody's allowed.
Here's the rules.
Right. They'd be like, nope.
Or just say, look, if you're singing along to the song, you can say it. Don't say it in your, personal life.
Or the fact is,
I'm fine with those rules.
If you don't like the word, put it to bed.
Yeah.
Put the fucking word
They
to
did. They tried
bed
to have
or
a-
shut up.
They tried to have a funeral. This thing will not die.
Yeah, or at least admit why you like it. Like, just admit why it's in the song.
Sounds cool.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
But it's also, the rules are so unclear because Hispanic people can say it.
They
I hear
can.
them saying it all the time.
Yeah.
Even I've heard Asian people say it.
It's weird when Asian people can get away with it.
Yeah, but they're usually yelling it as somebody runs out of their fucking deli.
Drake says it all the time. He's only half black, so is that okay?
You can only say it out of the left side of his face.
Right.
Can't say it full head on. It's going to be left side of his face.
And he can't say it when he's in Canada.
Oh,
Because
true.
Canada's his mom's side.
That's right.
When he's stateside, he can say it.
but you know what I mean? Like, why doesn't anybody get on his ass?
Because
it's just silly. Because he identifies as black. Who the fuck knows?
his dad, of all people, his dad is the type of guy that could say it.
Oh, yeah.
His mom, of all people, is the type of person that could not say it. So where does he land? I guess it's his choice.
Occasionally.
He says it occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's thinking about his dad, he says it.
Yeah, right around it. Like, you know how when like a comedian does like the Tonight Show, you have to drop a lot of language.
Right.
Well, you do SNL, you got to drop. You do fucking any TV show, you have to change a lot of language.
Maybe this is just not allowed anymore anywhere.
Or not that allowed, but how about you just self-edit? Like literally, you say,
Because
hey,
you don't want certain people to say it.
well,
so
you don't want to
encourage-
perpetuate the use of
Right.
it.
Right.
That's a real statement.
Look, Dave Chappelle, when he was doing his show, he started to feel weird about what people were laughing at in his sketches. He started to feel like maybe they were laughing at him instead of getting the sort of, I don't want to say political message behind it, but the true spirit of the joke. So you know what he did? He walked away. He stopped doing the show. That was it.
Even that though, at that point, if that's really why he walked away, if that was really it,
That's what he said.
if it wasn't other issues,
Mhm.
then at that point, I remember when Dave was doing that show, obviously, we were doing Tough Crowd right before. He could have done anything he wanted.
Right.
So he could have changed all that. When Dave came back, I think Doug, they would have done anything to get him back in 2005, I think that was.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
If Chappelle said, I don't want any of this, or I only want, they would have given him,
But maybe
whatever. If they gave him $50 million, they would have given him anything he wanted.
But maybe he knows this is what this show is, and I don't like, it doesn't feel right anymore, so I'm just not going to do it. But point being, he wasn't sitting there going like, no, I'm going to keep doing the show. You laugh where I tell you to laugh.
Sure.
He was like, I'm not going to be that guy who tells you how to react to it. So instead, I'm not going to do it because I'm not comfortable.
And you can't, look, no one can question Chappelle's, the genuineness of his action,
Right.
because he walked away.
Right.
And you're right, he left millions on the table,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of went out of the public view for a while. So for whatever reason, he did that. But as far as what people are laughing at, maybe that initially is something, but Comedy Central would let him probably take a year off and do anything and then come back with season 3.
Right.
I remember that. They were desperate to get him back.
He had to rethink the whole thing.
Who came in after that? Was that Mencia came in after
Yeah,
that? Was
they
that
did.
when Carlos came in?
So they finished the season with
His cast and some
Donald
stuff they
Rawlings and
shot,
Charlie
yeah.
Murphy. Yeah, and then Mind of Mencia was the next big sketch show that they did.
Yeah.
But he got destroyed from the Joe Rogan scandal.
That really ruined Carlos's career, and
Yeah.
and he didn't handle it well from what I remember.
Carlos?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, at one point he had like a outrage, like he just admitted, he was like, yeah, I fucking stole everything. You know what I mean? Like he had an emotional kind of confession to everything.
yeah. What was that in? Some documentary?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
It was a
remember.
weird
And what
one.
was after Mencia? What was that? Tosh came in a few years after that. Like
Yeah, Tosh. I think Sarah Silverman might have had
the
a
Sarah
show.
Silverman program.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the comedians of comedy, like they had like Patton and fucking Brian Posehn.
Yeah.
I don't remember who else was. Was Dave Cross on that show?
Maybe. They tried Dimitri Martin for a season.
Did he only last? Dimitri is oddly famous. Like people
Yeah.
still love him.
That show didn't, I don't think that show really went, but yeah, no, he's still very, very successful.
Oh yeah, I haven't. What has Dimitri been doing? Has he been doing movies?
He pops up in movies, yeah. I mean, I haven't really followed him, but I do see him popping up in movies a bunch.
That's right. Dimitri Martin. I forget what it was called. It was a weird show.
Right,
And then Jeff Ross had his roast. I don't know.
right, the whole thing.
I don't know if we have time to do this. Maybe we'll do this tomorrow. Because I do want to get this before we go home.
Yeah, we should probably maybe tomorrow. You want to go to line 2 there?
Let's see here.
Because I do want to give the proper amount of time to the other thing.
Yes. Hello, Kyle. What's up, buddy?
Hey guys.
Hey,
How you
man.
doing?
Just some context to the festival. Kendrick, that goes on for 3 days. It's in Gulf Shores, Alabama. It's actually like a real big deal. And being there, like Sam was saying, the first, I'd say like 15 to 20 rows were all just black people. And then the other that, it's all just drunk white frat guys. And we could care less about, we thought it was hilarious. She was actually...
You were there?
Yes.
Awesome.
Golf Tours, yeah. Saturday and Sunday. It's a big deal. I mean, it sucks though, because like AWOL, I've never, some of the other bands that went up with like AWOL Nation and stuff, it's a very eclectic group of music that's there. But then when AWOL Nation or whatever the hell went off, everybody runs to the front, and it was all black people at the front, and it's all just drunk white frat guys behind there just hanging out. So no one really cared, or it made like the outrage that, you know, people were making it to be.
Yeah, there's
black people didn't care either.
Of course they didn't. Black people are fans of Kendrick Lamar. They know what the song is.
Of course.
This is just the first story that I've seen that the media, like I'm witnessing, like being there and seeing that no one cared or they were laughing or joking. The girl, you know, I didn't see the girl afterwards, but they said that she was fine. Nothing happened to her.
That's funny. You go to this show. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
You go to this show and this thing happens. And it's sort of unremarkable. You're like, oh yeah, that happened, and you just go home. You don't even remember it.
We were parents were like, play the damn song. We play Backstreet Freestyle. We were stopping the song, you know.
Right, and then all of a sudden you turn on the news and it's everywhere.
Yeah,
and you're like, why the fuck are people talking about this?
Yeah, like there was like I consider from the 20, 30 rows and then back, and then you're on the beach. You're literally on the beach. So I mean, people are walking around, you're drinking. It's just a whole different atmosphere. That made it seem like, you know, during a concert, you pulled a white girl up on stage. It's like, no, everybody's doing their own thing and can care less.
Wow.
All right, thanks a lot, Kyle. You're right.
And real quick,
buddy.
if your dad's black, you're black. I was told that too, by the way.
Oh.
Okay.
Troy, does that answer your question?
It does.
My mother told me that once when I was sleeping and she was rubbing my hair.
Don't they say too, if you have a Jewish mother, you come out of a Jewish woman, that makes you Jewish, right?
So you be black Jewish. Sammy Davis Jr. was black
He
Jewish.
certainly was, but he converted.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You come out of if you come out of a Jewish mother, you're Jewish. But if your dad's black, you're black, so that makes Drake black Jewish.
I'll say this too, as far as race in America, at least Starbucks is handling the crisis well.
I think so.
Anybody can come in. Piss on the floor. You don't care. Take a shit on the muffins.
Starbucks.
Jesus Christ.
Starbucks has changed the policy. Now, employees and customers aren't 100% sure how this is going to work.
I'm sure how it's going to work horribly.
Yes. Starbucks has decided, as if anybody's talking about this anymore, just let it go. Instead of letting it go, Starbucks across the country now is going to let non-customers, whoever wants to come in, use their bathroom, can come in and use their bathroom.
And that won't at all be an issue with the homeless in New York.
Well, there's not too many Starbucks in New York, so
That's
I don't
right.
think that
and
they were...
It won't be a bunch of homeless people using the bathroom and setting up camp.
No.
Yeah, not only use the bathroom, but you can just hang out.
Sure. So when it rains, it won't be all homeless people.
No, I don't think so.
Starbucks now says that anyone can just hang out.
What idiots.
Regardless of purchasing anything.
But that's no business does that.
No, it doesn't make sense.
What groveling fucking
You
assholes.
think it's an overreaction?
Of course it is.
I don't think some hobo picked up the newspaper yesterday and today and read this story and was like, whoa, we're in luck. I don't have to hang out on the subway anymore. I don't have to... See, here's the thing. Now homeless people don't have to pay $2.25 or whatever it is to get on a subway car and sit there all day, because on the house, they can use that $2.25. They don't even have to spend it.
Go use the bathroom.
I was going to say they could buy a muffin, but they could just keep the $2.25 for drugs or whatever else they want to use it for and bring their drugs with them to Starbucks.
If you want a free muffin in Starbucks, all you have to do is walk up to the barista and go, give me a muffin, racist.
I think that's good. So, yeah, Starbucks, that's their apology.
Oh, and then here's what it was, Sam. It was the other one was there was a video, black guy shot a video of a white customer not being asked to prove that he had bought something. And look, the policy, instead of overreacting like dopes, the policy should be you must show a receipt to use the bathroom. Like if that's what they want to do, you must make a purchase before you use the restroom and have okay.
And that's not crazy. In New York, I don't know if it's most places, a lot of places have this system where on the receipt there's a code, And that code is a combination to get into the bathroom. So it's
Yes.
like you're not having people come off the street and just use it. Like it's like you buy something, you can use the bathroom. The idea, Starbucks had no issue. The whole thing was Starbucks, if you go in, all you have to do is purchase something and they generally leave you alone.
Buy a small coffee.
Buy a coffee, buy yourself a little muffin, and then sit down and
Go
do
take
your
a
work.
shit.
Yeah, do whatever you want to do.
Get free Wi-Fi and go take a dump.
Right.
Who cares?
Exactly. You get on your phone. Everything is lightning fast because you get that Starbucks Wi-Fi. Have a nice shit. Enjoy your muffin while you're there. Do whatever you want to do.
The CEO, I guarantee you, they will change this policy eventually. They don't see it coming in San Francisco, New York. You're not going to have it as much in certain smaller places, but
Sure.
Philly, you watch when it's just, and not that the homeless are these pariahs that can't be in your business, but when you have guys who have nowhere to go all day and they're just sitting in your fucking business.
Right.
Come on.
I'm walking right into Starbucks. Is this effect today? Does everybody know? Does this take effect today?
It better. So I'm going to hang out at Starbucks.
Oh, yeah. I'm walking right into Starbucks, and they're going to go, sir, can I help you? And I'm going to flip them off and walk right to the
exactly.
bathroom.
I'm good.
Fuck you. I'm going to the bathroom.
I'm going to help myself with some toilet paper.
Yeah. Actually, miss, I don't think you can help me. I have a bit of a diarrhea problem, and I'm going to go take care of that on you.
Restrooms are for customers. How
That's
hard
not
is
crazy.
that? It's insane what they're doing.
It's just opening up the restroom
These
for
Seattle
whoever.
dopes are overreacting.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, what context are they looking at that in? Like, because there's homeless in Seattle. Like, what town would this work in? You know, in Westchester, it'll be fine because there's not that many homeless people in Westchester. But there's a lot of Starbucks in every big city. You think Chicago in the winter is going to have, like, it's not going to be an issue?
If you want to get white people to do something, just tell a white person you think they're racist.
You saw that guy on YouTube right after this happened. He walked into Starbucks claiming, he was like, you heard about the racist thing at Starbucks. And
Oh, God,
and he was like, I'm here for my Starbucks reparations.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, okay, I'll give you coffee.
That was funny. I don't know. That's not our story.
That's not ours. Yeah, I'm here for my reparations. Oh, no. Yeah,
People just panic.
The term was reparations voucher.
This guy was very funny.
He's here for his reparations voucher. So fast forward to like halfway through the video because I don't need his whole intro. There you go.
It's great customer service.
Yeah, I was reading that and I was like, there is no.
Oh, go.
Missed the.
There you go. I'm going to Starbucks today.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right, I heard y'all was racist, so I came to get my free coffee.
I saw that.
Yeah, I heard you guys don't like black people, so I wanted to get my Starbucks
Not our
reparations
store.
voucher.
My Starbucks reparations voucher.
Is that
Is that
a
It's a real thing.
I mean, I'll give it to you.
but do you see like
Awesome.
how out of whack it is? Like this employee doesn't even think to go, what? That's nonsense. I haven't heard that from the company. People are so afraid of the accusation instead of just going, what?
If we still had an intern,
Yeah, she's young.
I would. Yeah, I mean,
Was she
what's she
17?
going to do? She don't know.
Yeah.
If we had she just wants to do the right thing.
Yeah, of course.
If we still had an intern right now, I would suggest that we send them down to Starbucks and just have them set up shop.
What I thought, as you're saying that, I'm thinking we should hire 20 people to go and sit in a Starbucks all day and do nothing.
Like a bar rescue. Like when the last bar rescue, John Taffer wanted to really increase the stress test. So he got a bus full of people to show up at a bar and just go in and watch them all panic. You think we should just hire a busload of just people?
Oh my God, just to sit in a Starbucks.
Hey, can we help you? Nope. We're here for the seats.
I don't even like coffee.
Yeah.
It's just a dumb reaction.
You guys got milkshakes? No? All right, then we'll just stay for the seats. Thanks.
All right, we got to, one more suggestion for Ed in Vermont. This is my favorite video of the last 35 years.
Oh, my God.
Ed,
Hey guys, if you can't get in the bathroom, you can always just shit on the floor and throw it at everybody behind the counter.
thank you, buddy. That Tim Hortons video from,
I think this Starbucks policy is a direct response to what's going on at Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we got to open the bathrooms to the public. Otherwise, people are going to get into arguments and shit on the floor and throw it at people.
And shit, and she drops a good solid dump.
Yes, she does.
Backs it against the wall. There's no sound, so nobody's playing it. She backs it against her ass against the wall, shits on the floor, picks it up with her bare hands. She does what every human being wants to do sometimes. She throws shit at another person.
So here she is. She's screaming at the guy.
Probably can let me use the bathroom.
Right. She's like, I have to shit. And the guy's like, well, you got to buy some donuts if you want to shit. And she's like, I don't have the cash to buy any donuts. And he's like, well, what do you want me to tell you? And she's like, give me some of these napkins, because guess what I'm going to use them for? Wiping my ass.
She must be pleasant around the house.
He's like, you're not going to do this. And she's like, oh, I'm not going to do this.
He's calling the cops.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He went back.
She rested her ass.
And she threw it with her bare hand, and she throws the napkins and the paper.
She rested her ass against the wall, and she just squatted. A log came right out.
Oh, what a very healthy dump.
And she wiped it off with napkins. This is at a Tim Hortons. I can only assume that this woman, this is her arguing style, and that she walks around, she only shits right before bed because she wants to walk around with shit in her system all day, just in case.
Of conflict.
Yes, just in case there's a conflict. She knows how to handle it.
Well, I'll be honest, there's a clear-cut winner in that argument.
Look, so she wipes her ass, and then not only does she throw the shit at the barista, but then, oh, Jesus Christ, so much.
Yeah.
So much comes out. She throws the shit. She wipes her ass. She throws the napkins at him that she just wiped her ass with. And I love that this guy in the orange shirt over here in the this guy over here in the orange shirt just sitting in a booth. It's just kind of still. He just sits there the whole time. He's enjoying his breakfast.
He has no idea what's happening. He's eating a chocolate cruller. Doesn't see the irony.
Right. He's like, smell like shit. Did you just fart? No. What is that?
All right, I'm going to eat something, and we'll come right back with Noam, and we have Mauro Ronaldo coming in later, Gillian Jacobs.
It's going to be a great show.
A full show, and get Chip Chipperson podcast tickets, Long Island, the Paramount Theater. It might actually sell out. It's going pretty well. It's September the 15th, live show, and I'm hoping Sam will be there, and Anthony will be there, and whoever else decides they want to show up.
If you can afford it.
Be right back. Yeah.
Who's coming in from the Comedy Cellar?
Hey, buddy.
They're opening up Comedy Cellar Las Vegas. How's it going, man?
Okay, how are you?
Good.
Do you guys know each other?
No.
No, I'm Sam.
Hi, Sam. No, I'm.
Nice to meet you.
You've never met?
I don't think we've ever met.
I don't think so.
And you've been on before years ago, right?
On your show?
Yeah.
No, Jim, I've never been invited in all these years.
I really thought you had been on.
No.
I made it. I was the one who pushed him to do it, finally.
Yeah. Well,
you do the Comedy Cellar podcast like you're like a broadcaster.
Yeah, I guess that. Actually, somebody flew all the way to Vegas just to see me, because they heard about it on the podcast. And I said the same thing to my wife. I said, I'm a broadcaster. Somebody actually flew 1,000 miles to see me.
Isn't it weird when you realize you're talking to people like, oh my God, they're actually paying attention in California and somewhere else, and they're listening to what I'm saying?
I know, it's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Yeah.
Is Natterman crazy? I love Natterman.
Dan Natterman?
Yeah.
I used to defend him for a long time about being crazy. I really did. And people say he's on the spectrum. I'm like, no, he's not. That's just like a pop psychology thing. Like Trump is, everybody puts him in a mental deficiency. But then the other day on our show, we were interviewing Darrell Hammond. And he was right in the middle of some intense personal story. He has these amazing stories. And right over like the most important part of his story, Dan just goes, this cut on my finger is really... and Darrell got really upset and kind of just wrapped up his story and went to the bathroom, almost walked off the show. And after that, I said, yeah, I have to say he's crazy. That's just
What was his response to that? Dan, like when you did it, I didn't hear that. I was just kind of, because I know Natterman for 20 years. I think he's hilarious. And
he looked, there was a look of realization in his face. Like oh my God, I did this.
Yes.
He knew he did something wrong, and he kind of apologized afterwards. But that's like a Tourette's kind of thing. I don't know what it is. I mean, crazy is a very broad term.
It really is, right?
Yeah.
He's not dangerous crazy.
No, he's not dangerous crazy, and he's not insane.
No, and he's funny.
He's very funny. But it is a kind
socially
of
not the best though.
Socially,
yeah.
He's awkward socially.
Right.
Yeah, he's Boo Radley. but a really funny stand-up and an original personality. Like I love Natterman. I think he's great.
I adore him, and a lot of people do. Dub Davidoff. Everybody loves Natterman. But yeah, there's something wrong with him.
Not a shoulder to cry on.
No, not at all.
No, you can't even hug him.
No, that's right.
He doesn't like being touched?
Doesn't like him. he'll shake hands, I guess, but he doesn't like affection. It's
Right.
not being touched, it's affection.
Now, you don't know, is that autism or molestation? It's one of the two.
Could be both.
Yeah.
It could be both, yeah.
Could be both.
Yeah, we had an intern like that. He didn't like being like he would make a weird face if you touched him. Like he didn't like being touched at all. Some people just don't respond.
Yeah, he would
well.
have a full body response. Like all you'd have to do is tap him on the shoulder, and he'd just like jerk, and his head would twitch. And
There's something wrong with him.
Yeah, you wonder if that's something in their past or they're born that way. I'm very into the idea that everything is nature and not nurture these days. But
everything.
Most things, except for trauma. Trauma is the one thing I think that can upset the normal trajectory of nature.
Yeah.
Is like a tree will become a tree unless it doesn't, but if you don't give it sunlight, then it doesn't become the tree. But otherwise, you can't really do much to make an oak tree into an elm tree. It's going to be an oak tree.
And it should be oak trees with oak trees.
Okay.
I'm getting the elms in the neighborhood. you guys argue a lot on the podcast too, which is kind of, it is fun, and sometimes it seems like it's frustrating for you.
Jim, I just love that you think my podcast is interesting. Like, just trying to make conversation about my podcast.
I do. Well, you know what it is? I walk
He never asked me a question. I see him every day.
Right.
He never asked me a question about my podcast.
Well, you know what it is? I walk in a lot of times, and I'll see they do it in the back of the Comedy Cellar. So I'm going on usually, and I see them set up for the podcast. So I see it all the time. Or I'll come down from doing Chip, and I'll see it. They're in the middle of it. So I kind of it's always there. Like once a week, I'll see it happening.
And Jim's incredibly generous, I want to say. There's a lot of people that walk in during our show, and many of them will not. They'll turn right around and walk away. They don't want to sit down. They don't want to talk. And they're stingy kind of that way. But Jim is always ready to sit down. And we really appreciate that. For instance, Ray Romano, anytime he walks in, we'll always just sit right down.
That's amazing.
And on the podcast.
Yeah. And that's just a generous nature that he has.
I walk away from it sometimes because I don't feel like I don't want to intrude. That's all it is. I'd love talking into a microphone.
No, I know you're always ready to sit down and talk.
Yeah,
and you're always welcome.
Some people are, something's happening. I don't want to just sit there.
What's the podcast called?
Live from the table.
I see. Live from the table, and you guys do it at the table at the Comedy Cellar.
We do it from the table. It's not quite live, though. It's 24-hour delay.
It is. Do you edit it?
No. I have edited it when I said something that I didn't want in the papers or something, but not in a while.
Do you guys get a lot of complaints too? These are all things I don't ask you at the Cellar. Because once in a while, customers walk out or customers bitch, and you are the one who kind of deals with the bullshit behind the scenes.
I don't know if I should talk about it. We're having a thing today because in the Daily News, there's an inaccurate story about Aziz.
He was there last night.
He was there last night. Well, on Sunday night, apparently some woman was upset, and somehow this got back to the Daily News, and they wrote that a customer walked out, but that's not true.
What was the woman upset about?
We live in a crazy time. Someone does anything you don't like, whether it's rape or just be a bad date. And career capital punishment is all we'll accept and nothing less.
Oh.
No judge, no jury, whatever. So this woman is apparently upset because because
the article that came out
in babe.net describes whatever it describes, and she feels that this dude, we had to have a warning outside. She can't.
Oh my God.
So, I didn't speak to her, and she asked to be contacted, and I did email her yesterday morning right away. Said, I'm the only. If you want to talk to me about it, I'm happy to talk to her. She never responded, and then it looks like she contacted the newspaper. I don't know, but I don't. It couldn't have been her. I don't know who did.
And even if a customer walks out and that's news.
Yeah, but she didn't walk out. That's the thing. She did. To my understanding, she did not walk out.
But the whole story that's in the paper is this woman theoretically got upset and walked out, and that's the story.
That's the story. Yeah.
Wow, that's news worth printing.
But the real story is with Aziz is that the audiences have been cheering that he's there, which to me is kind of a convulsive expression of the fact that people are on his side, like that this has gone, the pendulum swung too far when it hit Aziz.
And most of the people that we've talked to, I've found, and what I read on Twitter and things like that, is that's the general consensus on the Aziz thing, is that people read the article and they went, whoa, wait, this isn't anything. This is a bad date.
She was free to go whenever she wanted.
Right.
Yeah, I go further than that. I think it's a tremendous invasion of Aziz's privacy.
Right.
The fuck? He had a date and you get to just, it's not
Right, you're just
Yeah.
revealing the intimate details under the guise of...
Yeah, I mean, it's just a date.
Yeah. When you're a public figure, though, and it is what it is. You know, people
Yeah.
can talk about what you do. It stinks and it's embarrassing sometimes. You know, there's a couple of moves I didn't quite understand, but hey.
I love that you remember all the
I
details.
certainly do.
And now I'm worried that Aziz is going to be upset with us. I don't know.
For what? You didn't do anything.
I know.
But just that there's
Your dad was
negative-
one of the first guy, by the way, Manny was Noah's father. Sorry, I said
No.
Who I remember. Me and Keith would always tease Manny because he loved Aziz so much. But he was one of the first guys to spot it in Aziz. Was your dad?
Yeah, that's right.
And he saw him. I mean, this is however many years ago when no one knew. I think this is even before he did Little Giants. He would come. Was that what it was called on MTV?
No.
What was something Giants?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Little Giants was
That's
the
a
film.
band. Oh, no.
Little Giants was the movie where a bunch of little kids were on a football team coached by
Human
Rick
Giant,
Moranis.
no?
Human Giant.
Okay.
Human Giant was the show. That was the sketch show.
Yes,
That
okay.
is his first kind of...
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think.
Little Giants is a fabulous movie, too.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I would never besmirch it.
Aziz not in it. Rick Moranis is terrific.
Okay, but yeah, your dad was one of the first guys to see it, so I'm sure he has a loyalty to the Comedy Store.
He saw it in Aziz, and he saw it in you too.
Yeah, but I got paid spots because of you. You don't matter. You were maybe you were in college at the time, but I was doing food spots, and I was
What's food spots?
They used to have them there where you'd go on for 10 minutes at the end.
They're illegal now.
Are they? Are they really?
Probably. Governor Cuomo fixed that.
Judah did them for years. Like Judah Friedlander did food. You'd go on, but it was a way to like comedians who hadn't really worked their way into. You're not Ray Romano. They would let you go on and do a 10-minute spot late, and you would get paid in a meal. But it was a way to audition for the club and be there.
And just to be fair to us, it was a different universe then. We had very little business at the time,
Right.
And we didn't have the money to start paying 20 people who wanted stage time late at night, and
It wasn't like this iconic comedy club yet. You were
No.
building this.
No, it wasn't at all. And so it's like, all right, we'll just stay open late and hang out, and we'll give you something to eat, and it probably isn't legal.
It was one show.
Did
it
you
was
get
one
to pick
long
the
show.
meal, or was it? Did you get to pick
No,
off
you
the
get to pick
menu?
the meal. You get to pick the meal.
From this little section of the menu.
Yes. You want the Richard Pryor cheesecake or nothing? You would be allowed to pick what you wanted, but I never thought anything of it. I was like, fucking great. I mean, the comic strip had late night, and this had that. So I was doing a food spots, and Noam was there with some friends and saw me and liked me and goes, this guy should be getting a paid spot. And I got a paid spot, and I bombed fucking horribly, and I was back for food spots for 6 more months.
Is that right?
Oh, did I bomb?
Oh, that's terrific.
It was a Monday night, and I ate my dick terribly.
And you
But yeah,
blew it, and you lost the opportunity because of it.
Yeah, if you want to
That's amazing.
phrase it literally.
That's great. That's great.
I did.
That's happened to me a few times, and but in the end, I always get vindicated. It happened to me with Sean Patton, where I saw him. He made me laugh really hard, and I told Essie, let's put him on, and she resisted me. She didn't want to, but he bombed. And then the same thing comes relegated to the ash heap for a while. And then Gary Veter, the same thing. But in the end, all these guys did show their real colors.
Well, the funny thing is, Noam is the owner, and Esty is kind of the boss. But I mean, Noam is the owner. And
No. Essie's not the boss.
Well, I should say, I should say she's the booker. But then she will. If she doesn't want to do it, it's not going to get done.
I'll say no. You know what it is. And you could probably have analogous situations. Everybody loves to find fault with the boss. I mean, they just enjoy it when the boss gets it wrong. You know, so if I say, look, I think Sean Patton should get spots, and he doesn't do so well. At this point, I know everybody's actually rooting. This is what happens. It's a dynamic. I think people start rooting against him because if he continues to bomb, it shows that Noam didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
So I kind of disengage in those situations. I'm like, all right, we'll try him again in a few months. And then I guess it's manipulation. I don't know. I figure that sooner or later she's going to come to it on her own, which is what does happen.
Right.
And then now she's on his side because she came to it on her own.
As opposed to you forcing it and telling her you got to put this guy on.
Yeah.
And then she's going to be giving him spots. Friday late show or.
Is it disheartening when you get that first paid gig and you're like, all right, I'm on my way, and it lasts one night and you're right back to where you were?
Yep.
Gotta be.
Of course. It's fucking humiliating. It's like going out with a girl with giant tits and then she realizes I don't want a second date and you don't get to grab him. That's because back then there was a guy named Louis Schaefer who used to do the who I loved. I loved Louis Schaefer. He would do the hosting. He got a lot of those people in there. He would stand out there and fucking bark for people, and he would go on and there was his own song and he would spread roses as he went on. He was kind of like androgynous. People didn't know if he was gay gay or straight, and that was his whole shtick. Louis Schaefer, not gay, and people loved it. People off the street would just bring in and make them laugh. He was really amazing who he could make laugh.
He turned the Comedy Cellar around.
Yeah, he did.
Louis Schaefer was a pivotal figure in the Comedy Cellar because we never barked before. Bark means like standing outside with flyers or whatever it is. And my father was always against that. It was not very classy and seemed desperate. But Louis would be the MC, and in between his MC spots, he would go outside and, like Jim said, with flowers and with this kind of, he was actually, it's almost like performance art on the street, and he would fill the room.
Yeah.
Where we had never been full before, at least during the week. And he showed us that you could have a full room during the week. And then money started to come in, and from that money we were able to do other things to keep the momentum going. Literally, I wonder, without Louis Schaefer, if we'd be where we were.
Yeah, he would actually, well, you're right, he would hand people flowers on the street.
And business cards with a quarter taped to it. It said the Louis Schaefer, call me. In the days of payphones.
Yeah, he was a very funny guy, and he would bring in people, like, you'd never want a group of fucking 5 drunks to come in, and Louis didn't give a fuck. He got them in, and he made the fact there were shows because Louis got them in. He's really an amazing guy. You guys opened, I have not seen the club in Las Vegas yet. We talked possibly about going out there, even broadcasting one time. You're in the Rio Hotel, and there's a discount code, CCSTR, for $25 tickets to the Comedy Cellar Vegas, just to kind of get the club, so people know it's there and they get the habit. Is it harder because it's such a tourist spot?
I'll be more honest about that discount. Ticketmaster, is a requirement in this casino, and the fees are crazy. What is like? Oh, the Ticketmaster. I don't know what it is. It's like $10, $12. I think we're competing with Ticketmaster to sell our own tickets, even though Ticketmaster takes a cut of our tickets. So I just decided I need to lower the price somehow. Still, $25 is not that cheap, right? In New York, that would be a Saturday night ticket, but in Vegas, everything's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I said, let me just give a big break to anybody who wants to buy a ticket, in the sound of my voice or in the sound of our website, to try to make up for these Ticketmaster fees. There, I don't know what to do about it.
And you can't get around it.
You can't get around it. I think they have a contract with the casino.
So you're kind of stuck with Ticketmaster, and they do add a lot. So I had to drop fees for something I was doing recently. I'm like, that's just too high a ticket price. It's too much. People can't afford that much. They're going to demand a great show if they spend that much. I'm like, I want them to demand an average show. That's what I'm going to give them.
I don't know. This is interesting. You can stop me at any time, but we have a back end at Ticketmaster that I just finally got access to, and it tells us what percentage of people who get to the end with put the tickets in their cart, what percentage of people actually pay for the ticket and go. And before I started giving the discount code, it was like 3%. Like 100 people would come, like ready to come to the Comedy Cellar. They would put in the tickets, and then when they saw the fees, they would abandon the cart. So this is against Ticketmaster's interest, because if they cut the fees in half, they probably make twice as much money. But
yeah, wow,
97% walked away.
That's what I was seeing. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I hope I'm reading the statistics correctly. I think I am. I emailed Ticketmaster support, and they told me I was reading it right.
Wow.
So they're willing to lose 97%.
So they can make their cut.
Well, but the cut of a huge cut of nothing is
exactly.
Not, but then I started to lower the price. You gotta go, and it jumped up to 10% in one day.
Travis just said a 30% fee is what they charge.
It's $11 on a $38 ticket.
Wow,
that's crazy
for the seller. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it's like
It's I've not bought tickets before because the fee's too high.
So he's one of those guys that
I have money, right? I'm not super wealthy, but I don't care about money like that. But certain things get under your skin so much.
You feel like you're being taken advantage of. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to pay $12 fee.
There was a show that I really wanted to go to. It was a $40 ticket, and it was a $20 fee. And I said, I'm not paying 50% for fees.
What show was it?
It was just a band, Catch-22.
Oh, it's like when they charge you $8 for a Coke somewhere. It's not the $8. It's like just the
principle.
Yeah, I don't want to bend over and take it. I don't like it.
It's like I know I'm kind of
postage.
Exactly. Some of us love that, and then we realize we can't do it. We say stop.
Jim loves an $8 Coke.
The only time I ever almost had anal sex, it was all planned, and we took our time, and I relaxed and lubed and all this stuff, and then as soon as I would say, take it out. Exactly. Stop.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
No, it wasn't my ass. It was her ass.
Oh, boo.
But it was just like, no.
You've never had anal sex?
I haven't thought about that for years. What's that?
You never had anal sex? Or that was just the first time?
No, that was the only time, I guess. Yeah.
I love that interaction because like I totally got what you were saying. And she was like, take it out. And Jim was like, yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, I figured you got an open-minded young lady with a belt. Why not? But yeah, no, I can't take it either. But it is painful, but I'm surprised you haven't done it. I mean, you've been a musician for, what, 40 years, 35 years?
I guess I got traumatized by that first try. I don't know.
I've had girls shit on my dick.
What?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, like you pull it out and then there's some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Gee. And do you use condoms when you do that?
You like,
oh my God.
Picture being at a kid's birthday party and the child says something adorable. That's how I feel with that question.
Who uses condoms ever? You use condoms?
No, I'm married, so no.
But did you use them before you were married?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I did and I didn't, but I did.
Did you use them?
No, only under protest. I mean, I never wanted to at all. And the truth is, women don't want you to use them most of the time.
But do you think they want to get knocked up, though?
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean,
no, that's not what I don't. Maybe with you, that's not what I think it is. I have a theory that, if you want to talk about this, that when you wear a condom, you can't really feel anything.
Right.
So the way you actually have sex changes. It becomes rougher and like more of a desperate attempt to feel something rather than kind of more sensual that you would be if you can without a condom. And I think women probably don't. They probably prefer it and have better experiences with men when they're not wearing condoms.
Because the intimacy that's there.
Yeah, because a man will be much more gentle. There's a finer sense of feeling, much finer.
My dick, I can't do it. I literally can't keep an erection in a condom. It's horrible. My dick wilts when I put it on.
Yeah, I mean, like growing up, like we had like, I don't know. I guess everybody was afraid of STDs and getting pregnant and AIDS and all that stuff all the time. It was hammered in as we were growing up. So
yeah, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Yeah, that's what it is. I grew up at the time, like became sexually active when we weren't that wasn't drilled into us.
Right.
When women carried diaphragms around in their purse.
Oh.
So by the time
how awful is a diaphragm with a fucking velament stuck to it?
so by the time the whole STD thing came in, I had 15 years already of having sex without a condom. It's like, you're not going to get me to change my ways now.
Right.
So, and then for a while we were worried about AIDS. But then it became apparent, even though you weren't supposed to say it, that really men weren't getting AIDS from straight sex.
Nah, heterosexual, like vaginal sex, you aren't going to catch it.
Yeah.
Or the odds were really against it.
So then whatever,
Right, right.
Well, you were a musician. You must have pulled a lot when you were a musician.
Yeah, a lot.
Is it easier?
Yeah.
As a musician?
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the Cafe Wah for all those years in the house band.
Yeah, but Jim, you may not know it to look at me. I was always pretty good with girls. I always was.
Yeah.
But when you're a musician, you're on stage.
Yeah, but no, that's what I'm asking. As a musician, as a comic, it does not flow.
I think there's something more. Music hits people on a more primitive level, and I think that's somehow tied into sexuality.
I think that music also, like when you're a musician, you end up meaning to people whatever they want you to. You know what I mean? Like you can interpret a song or whatever you're doing in 100 different ways. And then all of a sudden you're this idealized version of whatever. Whereas a comedian is like they're taking your words for what they are.
Yeah, I mean, music hits people on an emotional level. You start teasing and ginning up their emotions. And that leads to, I think, to emotional reactions, including a sexual attraction. Clever, those clever jokes,
It does nothing for the pussy. It does
the same kind.
No, it's really not. And especially when you're being like, I'm self-hating on stage, and nobody wants to fuck you. It's like, oh, my tits, and then a woman's like, oh, that guy's hot.
Right.
It just doesn't translate.
That's the other thing. Yeah, self-deprecating humor doesn't translate.
Does not translate.
Except, as you know, there is a niche, pretty significant niche of women who really are into that.
Yeah.
They are into that. I mean, there was a really pretty hot Asian woman came into the Olive Tree the other night, and she told how much she just in love with comedians. I mean, she comes almost 2-3 times a week, and I'd love to see this.
Yeah, I would love to see, because obviously any woman that comes alone to the comedy cellar because they like comics, you're not going to last with, because they either want to do comedy or they want to fuck a different comedian than me. I've never pulled women like that successfully. You can hang out with them, but normally they
like
want to
comedy groupies. You'd not been able to.
No, because normally they want to do comedy. A lot of times, like, I'm right, working on some jokes. And you're like, ugh,
I don't want to.
That's fine.
And that turns you off.
Not that it turns me off, but then I know why she's there.
I see.
She's not there to fuck. She's there to do jokes.
I see.
Or to get her to pick your brain a little bit.
That would turn me. And also, then you're worried that if you do sleep with her, that what are you getting yourself into? Because she has another. It's not over then, because that's not really what she's there for.
Right.
So she's going to continue.
Especially if she's there 2 to 3 times a week anyway. Even if nothing happened, like she's just going to be around.
How old is
all
she?
the time.
30s.
Okay. She come late?
She comes. I'm not sure what time she comes, but I'll put the lookout for you.
Because you guys have, this was amazing. You have 4 shows on
One
Saturday.
groupie.
I know, and I'm
Jim's
like,
going crazy. He's like, can you introduce me to the one groupie?
I'm literally trying to get my sets booked around when a groupie may show up.
A groupie.
How's that a fucking? I'm doing stand up 28 years. I'm like, what time is the groupie going to be there? I'm going for free.
Jim's the only performer that follows groupies around.
It really is pathetic. I picked off a few, but there's not many. There's not comedy groupies. There's just not many. People ask about them, and most women who come to shows or contact me have boyfriends. That's the way it is. They don't want to fuck you. They just want their boyfriend to come and enjoy your show.
The more physical comics get more pussy. Like Robert Kelly in his heyday, he used to pull a lot. Because he kind of exuded that, it wasn't about his clever jokes. It was about his kind of presence.
Yeah, he was a cute guy, and he had high energy, and he had juicy lips. And he's not Irish, and he was a funny guy on stage, and women fucking love. People look at Bob Kelly now. He's a little heavier, and he's all Bob Kelly though. But Bob Kelly back when he was fucking still single. There was that little secret room at the cellar. Bob would just bring women in and they'd eat his ass. It was he's amazing. He had legendary numbers when he was a little younger.
Yeah.
Really sickening.
Yeah, some friends of mine I know fell prey.
Oh, do they really? Do they regret it?
Big time.
Why? Because they feel like he's fucking everybody?
No, I don't think they regret it. I don't know if they regret it. I don't know.
What do you think? What took the cellar? Because now the cellar is kind of like the go-to place. And
yeah.
When I first started going in there, like you said, there'd be 6 people on a Monday night. Colin going in really helped give it credibility and give a lot, or restart credibility and get like a lot of celebrities coming back in for some reason. Seinfeld started coming in and all these guys. But what just kind of shot it up? Because now it's by far the club everybody wants to work. Every fucking comic talks to me. How do I get into the cellar? I'm like, I don't even know at this point. I don't even know what you do. Do you send SD a tape? They need recommendations?
Yeah, I think that if to answer the last question first, anybody wants to perform at the cellar, they should just send me a YouTube video.
Right, you just link a video.
Yeah, in the old days, you needed to get recommendations and all that stuff, but that's because the technology didn't allow for any other real way to see anybody. We weren't going to go around watching people audition at around town. So recommendations were the best thing. So the question about how that I don't know the answer to that. If you really zoom out, I would say that if you do things right and better than the other people for a long enough time, you will kind of like survival of the fittest, you will rise to the top. So, we've always done things right at the Comedy Cellar, include the way, the caliber of the acts, the way we treated the audience, the atmosphere in the room, the sound, the lights. I mean, you name it. I think we've done everything right.
And the variety of acts is always good too. So there's always black guys, white guys. There's no tone to it. It's just like there's a bunch of different people being funny.
It's a meritocracy. Whoever's funniest gets on, and we don't play politics. So in that sense, that's, I think, why we're doing so well. But that at the same time, comedy is now just much bigger than it ever was before. I mean, comedians are selling out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Some,
yeah.
You're not so much?
No.
Theater? Madison Square Garden?
No.
No, not that theater. No, okay.
But in the old days, that was unheard of. It was just unheard of. I mean, Steve Martin sold out.
Dice.
But I mean, huge. So, and then there's new technologies. I think that everybody knows, or almost everybody knows now, before they go out anywhere, exactly what they're walking into. They really do their research. So if you do your research, you basically find that the Comedy Cellar is the place to go.
But people who do their research and still get upset. It's like
What do you mean?
You know what you're going into. You go to a comedy show
Gotcha.
and they still get upset.
I'm saying that's why they go to the Cellar and not the other clubs at this point. Used to be, I mean, 20 years ago, you didn't really know which club to go to. There weren't even, there was barely online reviews. There were a few, they were comparable, but now everybody really has really good information, and it's kind of a frictionless way of switching. So and you notice that more and more entities are cornering markets. And I feel like we're kind of cornering the market in comedy somehow. Amazon is everybody's buying. Like, why do you buy from anybody but Amazon? It's just the best.
Like, Louis helped with that, too, because the show is featured the Cellar in it.
A big boost.
All these documentaries that are being... Were you there the night? I don't know if I remember the night when Trump Jr. had that... This is so many years ago. I mean, this is probably 20 years ago almost. Had that incident there. It was just a fight. One of his guys at the table and somewhere else.
Yeah.
I remember your dad was panicked because...
What happened?
It was Don Jr. Again, he was a young guy. He was 20, whatever.
Make excuses for him already.
But I mean, no, he was. It was like they were a bunch of young guys. And I guess one of the guys at the table had a fight with somebody else and a drink got thrown or some shit. Do you remember what happened?
It was something like that, and somebody told somebody else to shut up, and then there was a fight, and Don Jr. got hit over the head with a beer bottle, I think.
Oh, it's 16 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and then Trump called my father up and, threatened to sue, and then it blew over. And all I remember is my father telling me after he spoke to Donald Trump, he said, this was a guy who was used to people listening. That was his reaction to him. Like the way Trump spoke to him, it's like he was just used to he knew my father was going to shut up and listen.
Yeah.
And that was what my father took from that conversation about Donald Trump.
I remember your dad saying that. And I think we asked him, well, what did you say? And he's like, yes, Mr. Trump. Because you don't want to get sued by a guy with a fucking $1 billion. Yeah. How do you feel as a business owner, too, about like people, everyone's got shit happening. Starbucks, the way they're handling this whole racism thing. Yeah, anyone can just come in and hang out.
Can we use the bathroom at the Comedy Cellar if we don't buy a ticket?
I saw this yesterday. A black guy walked into, I actually texted Michael Che about it. A black guy walked into Starbucks and they had no bathroom in this one, but he wanted to use that. But it was the employee bathroom, and the person behind the counter went, okay.
And then they hired him.
So nervous to say no to a black guy.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be a funny skit for SNL, just like a black guy walked into Starbucks to see how far he can push it,
Yeah, but as a business, where do you do? Like, all right, you get a bunch of people pissed off at you and they're protesting, but you can't just say anybody can come in and fucking hang out.
Of course not. I think Starbucks didn't handle it properly. I think they could have simultaneously apologized to these people, made it clear that, I mean, they must have 30, 40,000 employees, that one of their 30,000 employees did something terrible. At the same time, without, totally, I don't know what the word is, just kneeling down.
Collapsing.
Yeah. And about how bad they are and how they're going to change their policies. They had a right to say, listen, but however, when you come into Starbucks, you have to buy something, and the bathrooms are for customers only,
I can't wait to watch this fall apart. There's no way they're going to keep this shit. Homeless guys are just going to come in there and set up camp. There's no fucking way this is going to
it makes no sense.
It's insanity. It's insanity. And it's just buckling.
Speaking of businesses and stuff like that, did you hear what they're saying about Mario Batali now?
No, what they had yesterday that he did.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Yesterday. We didn't talk about it yesterday. So they had, I think on 60 Minutes on Sunday, they had a line of women that were there to accuse Mario Batali of sexual assault. Apparently, he had like a rape room above one of the restaurants.
The Spotted Pig is one of the
Spotted Pig. Up on the third floor, there was a room that's what they did there, and there was this one woman. So there were a couple women who were saying stuff. And one of them was like, I don't remember what happened, but I woke up in this room and I was like, oh, okay. But this one woman talked about watching on closed circuit, because I guess there was a closed circuit camera,
right,
watching on closed circuit Mario Batali finger blasting a woman who was passed out.
Yeah, there's a few employees that saw it or something.
Yeah.
Like, I guess he didn't know there was a camera, or he didn't think anybody was watching.
Yeah.
If it's true.
I mean, it seemed, they said they said to her, "You have no doubt." And she was like, "I have no doubt." About
they
what
don't
I saw."
have. They haven't shown the footage.
No, they have not shown the footage. If you want to go to that video, Troy, it's at 3 minutes and 30 seconds or so. Yeah, it's this woman with the short hair right here. That's her.
Amy C. told us what she saw, and 3 other employees who were also there confirmed her account.
We were in the 3rd floor of the restaurant, and there are cameras, and there had been a party, and it dwindled down to 2 people, Mario and then this woman.
Seed says she was counting the evening's receipts in the office and watched on a video monitor as Mario Batali began to reach his hand up between the legs of the woman.
She looked like this. So that, to me, it looks like someone is unconscious.
And you saw him pull up his chair and start to touch her sexually?
Yes.
When you saw that on the monitor, what did you think?
He crossed the line, a huge line to assaulting someone that's unconscious. So we all went out there and we stopped what was going on. Hey, Mario, how are you doing? Let's get you a cab. We were saying something just to snap him out of this.
Seat and others say a number of
I wonder if he was just drunk, and you can't really finger someone when they're sleeping if you're drunk, but was he that fucked up?
It seemed like he was drunk, but there's like a ton of women that are saying stuff, and the only statement he's come out, I think he's like stepped down from most of his businesses, and he's like come out with a statement that just says like, "I apologize for actions that were in my past," and blah blah blah.
Oh, okay.
And although when this story broke like a couple months ago, before these women were talking on TV, he sent out an email statement saying like, there are things in my past that I'm not proud of. But he sent it out to his email list. I think this was him. At the end of the email, there was a recipe for like some kind of dessert.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was like he kept it on brand.
That's nice.
When he sent out the thing.
Yeah. Sorry for the sad news, but here, treat yourself to a little something on me.
Right. In case you got a sweet tooth still, here you go.
And it's horrible too, because when you're dealing with booze and everybody's getting fucked up, like the bar businesses, you see it. It's like, because people are there at 4 o'clock in the morning and, the customers leave and, fuck.
This really disturbs me. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah, this is like a different level of like a woman who's passed out unconscious.
Yeah, if she's sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know how fucked up you would have to be for there to be and even begin to justify it. I don't think there's any way you can.
Yeah, not if someone's asleep.
Not at all.
Right. It bothers me. I'm afraid to say the wrong thing. I'm extremely uncomfortable about the fact that everybody's tried in the media now, and that, if the right thing for this woman to have done when it happened was immediately was call the police.
Yeah, what she's saying in that statement is that she was part of a group of people that were basically trying to stop, like to disguise this from happening. Let's brush it aside. Let's not tell anybody.
Let's stop it from happening, and then let's
keep the business going.
Let's keep the business going. Yeah.
When you call the police, then there's a justice system, and that can take evidence, do forensics, that can be sure that what happened. Things are not always as they appear. They can be sure that what we think happened actually happened, and then can decide what the appropriate punishment is. But what we're seeing now is a series of things that are way in the past, and we all know how our recollections of the past are. Come out being presented essentially is presented as truth. If it was a newspaper story, they wouldn't be able to present it so powerfully as truth. They might not even be able to run it because they can't confirm it or something, but somehow 60 Minutes they can just interview. I'm not saying he didn't do it, and I'm not saying he's what's going to happen to him is unfair. I'm just saying that there's blood in the water now, and everybody's looking to make their name by what they can dredge up from somebody did 10, 15 years ago, and we don't know if it's true or it's not true. And the disease thing is like the ultimate example of it. They're just desperate to find something,
Right, and there have been examples of people just trying to throw whoever they can throw under the bus.
Yeah, I did like that even feminists push back on Aziz, and they're like, no, this is just a guy who was on a date and you didn't like what was happening and you could have left.
I did too.
Yeah, people did push back on that, which I kind of liked.
Yeah. It seems like the Mario Batali one, especially because his statement that he put out was not like, these things are not true and I don't know where it's coming from. It was just, he's almost just jumped into a hole and tried to avoid all this stuff. It seems like he's a pretty powerful guy in that world. It's crazy that chefs are that like.
I've had enough of fucking chefs.
Like there's so much reverence for chefs.
Really, just tired to cook with fucking Asperger's. I'm sick and tired of these assholes.
I'm a chef. I can do whatever I want. Like, who cares? You made dinner.
He's kind of, well, I know him a little bit. So
I've seen him at the Cellar.
Yeah, that's what I know. But he's kind of a Harvey Weinstein looking type guy.
Right.
And you wonder if there's something
there, like a guy who physically may not have the best luck in the world gets this power in whatever industry, and it's like, okay, now it's time for me to exercise this power.
I imagine drinking plays a part in it too.
I mean, the way that woman was describing it, they didn't really talk, but the way that woman was describing it, it seemed pretty clear. If you're trying to like distract him,
hey, let's get you a cab.
Right, then he must be drinking.
The night I saw him there, he seemed like he had a few.
Is that right? Yeah. Celebrating life.
Also, we're rubbing right up against, and I know you'll probably agree with me, the kind of inconsistency in the whole way that we're told we're supposed to see the world to be harmonious with the way feminists see the world, which is that men and women are exactly the same. But the truth is that if a female were sucking a guy's dick while he was passed out, nobody would consider that a sexual assault, right? Nobody would be calling the police. Nobody would be
today they
running
might
60 Minutes. Yeah, we'd all laugh about it.
Yeah, years ago they probably wouldn't, but yeah, now
it is changing a little bit now. Yeah. Like you got like guys like Terry Crews coming forward, and there are other
saying that William Morris agent grabbed his dick. Yeah.
Right, there are other guys very slowly. There's still
was she a female?
This one, no, that
guys.
was a male.
And is he gay?
No, he's with his wife.
Right.
But the agent, I think, is they said is gay.
So he's saying that he's not gay, and a man tried to
grab his dick at an event, while he was with his wife. Like,
so he's I don't know why he's so upset about that. But the fact is, I think that men and I think it is much worse when you do it to a woman. I think that, it's obvious. I think we all feel it obviously. Yeah. Like you have a daughter, I have a son. If somebody did that to my daughter, I just react differently. And I don't think it's because I'm some kind of sexist. I think there's just something different.
It's like school teachers. When you give it a school teacher fucking a student, if it's like a guy fucking a 15-year-old, you're like, ugh. But if it's a fucking, if it's a 15-year-old guy getting blown by his 30-year-old teacher, you're like, oh, you're fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, it is. And I think because, and I've known people in those situations, because the females actually are traumatized by that. 10, 15 years later, they'll be furious with anger at that teacher for taking advantage of them. When the male students always considered it an awesome story from their past.
Like a rite of passage or whatever.
Yeah. Do you think it's because there's a natural power struggle that still exists where society looks at women as less powerful than men, meaning that like the same way an employer thing, when an employer is doing it to an employee, there's this inherent power, right, that makes that a bad thing. The fact that there's this inherent thing societally between men and women.
Yeah, I don't think it's societal. I think it's something in our DNA.
It goes back to your nature and nurture thing.
Yeah, I think it's in our nature. I think female sexuality is just different than male sexuality. I mean, you look at a male gay bar as opposed to a lesbian bar. It's quite different behaviors.
I don't know what's the difference. I mean, I guess in behavior. I guess them guys being pigs and the women are like kind of mellow.
Yeah, you talk to Mateo about the stuff that goes on in gay bar. I mean, it's just
you talk to Jim about
debauchery.
I've only been to one in my life, and I was with my ex-girlfriend one time. We went with her and my manager just to see it.
It's convenient.
Well, I mean, they literally like glory holes were true. A guy sticks his dick through a thing and somebody else blows it or puts it in their ass, or on the other side, and they never even see each other.
Yeah,
that's
so I think it's incredible.
Yeah. So like a lesbian club is a little bit more social, whereas a club for gay men is just as hypersexual as a club. If a guy invented a heterosexual club, it would just be a fuck palace.
Well, I mean, there's so much. Look at like Backpage or Craigslist when they advertise.
Both gone, by the way. Backpage is gone totally.
It's gone totally?
Totally. And Craigslist, any type of therapeutic services for massage, erotic, even meetups, even just, hey, women for men, all gone.
That's ridiculous. So what percentage of those erotic ads are targeted to men and what percentage to women? It's like, 99 to 1, right?
I mean, more than that. It's 100 to 1.
So what is that? This is anonymous. Women are alone on their computers. They can see if there was a market for it, they would be advertising to them.
Yeah.
It's not.
I guess there are some male escorts for women. I mean, there are.
They exist. They exist.
But it's not like this thing that's...
They're outliers.
Yes,
they're
outliers is right.
It's not a big booming business. I guess because women can fuck whenever they want to fuck.
Yeah, I mean, there are. I think it's pretty naive to say that there aren't inherent and natural differences between men and women.
We
right?
really are figuring everything out today. We're getting to the bottom of it. But yeah, it's like, it is what it is. And we're promoting this, the Comedy Cellar Vegas.
Yes.
Mark Cohen is really funny. He hosts, he was a guy from New York and he lives out there now. And he was a host at the Cellar for many years. Julian McCullough, who's very funny. Sam Morril, Beth Stelling, which is funny because they used to date. And Ryan Hamilton. And next week's going to be Mark Cohen again, Phil Henley, Marina Franklin, Eddie Ifft, and Ricky Velez. Is really good shows. Are people going to them? Are people enjoying them?
Yeah, the shows are great, and the attendance is pretty good. Better than I thought it would be. I mean, we're selling out about half the house, and then the other half is some comps and whatever it is. So we have basically full houses all the time. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that we're only selling half, but that's pretty good in Vegas, and we've only been open a few weeks. So
it's amazing.
We have 150 to 200 people there every night, and we built the room perfectly. The ceilings are low. It looks just like the Cellar. The laughs are really, really loud. And the shows are way better than anything else in Vegas.
Before we go, Bob Kelly, you know him, lives next to and spends a lot more time with than I do these days. He's just cranky.
Is he cranky?
He's cranky.
Has he gotten cranky?
Dude, he's fucking.
Yeah.
Is he not gotten cranky?
He's cranky, and you can't argue with him, right? He batters you down and interrupts, and it's
fucking yeah. Bob really is. He has gotten much crankier, and
But you say that like you're jealous that I spend more time with him than you do.
No, I'm so happy.
Oh, you're so happy.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, we're like the Flintstones and the Rubbles now in the suburbs.
But he just is. Bob has gotten fucking snippy.
You know what? He's always been. I think he's always been snippy, Jim. Is he snippier?
Yeah.
You think he's just not aging well?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mentally, he's not.
That's right.
I hope he hears this.
Right.
Bob, you're cranky.
Well, I don't know if this has to do with Robert, but I think quite often that it's something terrifying to be a comedian as you get further into your career. It's not like you have a profession like a lawyer or a doctor where you can always work. And I don't know. Do you think about that? Like it's what do comedians, they want to hit it big. They want to become movie stars, whatever it is. And at the point, if that doesn't happen, what's the outlook? What's the trajectory?
You kill yourself.
Yeah, it's about
That's
right.
it. That's what you can do.
This is nothing to do with Robert Kelly.
No, not at all.
I'm just saying. Well, I mean, it made me think of it. It's like why would somebody get cranky as they get older in their career? It's a scary career.
Yeah, but Bob, you're right. He has been cranky for years.
And by the way, based on the conversation that you're having right now and the conversation that we had yesterday morning, I now believe that you and Colin Quinn spent a good amount of time complaining about Bob Kelly's crankiness on your walk on Sunday.
And we have to break right now because we have other guest pilot. We Colin, it was really funny, like the discussion. You know what fucking irritates me about Bob? I wish Colin would come on more. No, I love you. You know that. The Comedy Cellar is my favorite place in the world. And Colin said that to me one time, too, when we walked in together. And he goes, this is my favorite place on the planet.
Well, Colin was the first guy to say that. He was the earliest adapter of the Comedy Cellar. He used to live right across the street.
Yeah.
And he always looks for an apartment to move closer to the Comedy Cellar.
Wow. Yeah, he's downtown now. Again, he was uptown. He was miserable. And go to the Comedy Cellar in Vegas. CCSTR is the discount code for tickets. You got to go to Ticketmaster. It's the hotel. It's not the Comedy Cellar's choice, but you get headliners and you get great drop-ins there. And I'll see you again, man. I'll probably see you tonight, actually.
Thanks.
All right, be right back with
Gillian
Jacobs and Mauro Ronaldo. Be right back.
We'll be back.
Good.
You got your mic on?
1 second.
There you go.
Am I now
You are
live on air?
Oh, you are. Welcome.
Long time, first time.
That's right. Well,
no, you've been on before.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a joke, guys.
That's just rude.
Sorry.
We don't get jokes here. We don't
Sorry.
This isn't a humorous show, okay? We're here to tackle the issues of the
I
day.
remember.
Right.
You look very colorful.
Thank you so much.
It's a pink jacket and a bright green shirt. It's very nice.
Thank you. Are you live streaming this?
No, we're the camera's not live streaming.
Hello, cameras.
That's right. We just keep everything for our records.
Okay.
Yeah, we go over it together at the end from every angle and discuss how we were.
Yeah. Jim and I, we do
hours and hours.
Yes. Just meetings of how can we improve? Like, how does our body language change?
No, it's how can we make it worse? And we manage to. We can't.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
So does it? excite you? You're here to because you're in Ibiza,
Correct.
which is coming out on Netflix.
Yes, May 25th.
Same time yesterday, Netflix announces the Obamas are going to start producing.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
Are you sitting there being like, why couldn't the Obamas have produced Ibiza?
That would be
It'd be amazing, right?
remarkable.
Right.
I know. Well, maybe they can produce the sequel.
That's right, because you got Ibiza, right?
Yes.
You got Love, all the multiple, 3 seasons of Love, right?
Yes.
Right. So obviously you're a Netflix darling.
Just absolute darling.
Right. So
you get a sash.
So, yeah.
Once you've done multiple projects with Netflix, they give you a sash that
really,
says
really
Netflix
nice.
darling.
Right. So now that you're a Netflix darling, do you think to yourself, I got to figure out how to get in with these Obamas?
I think anyone who's ever been on Netflix had that thought yesterday.
Just people who had random movies picked up. Like, well, I had a thing that was on Netflix for a period of time.
No, I heard that, and I was like,
Hammer.
I was like, do you know I thought of that show yesterday for some reason?
I bet it was a good show. I should go back and watch
With
it.
Steven Van Zandt, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a mob guy in hiding. Where was it supposed to be?
Wherever Lillehammer is.
Yeah, where is that? It's in the Netherlands somewhere, right?
Norway.
Is it Norway?
Sweden.
Oh, Sweden.
Europe.
Betraying my ignorance, I'm not great at geography.
I don't know either, but I just remember it was...
I'm sure the listeners will tell us.
They will.
It didn't grab me.
They'll be kind
It
about
did not grab you.
I didn't hate it, but I remember I was like, it just didn't...
What's your favorite show right now? What has grabbed you?
I like El Chapo. I'm not really watching anything. Narcos.
Okay.
I'm not really watching anything at all.
No,
I
so
can't think of it.
nothing.
No.
I have to tell you, I was watching Ibiza, and I don't know, it made me think about myself.
Okay.
Because literally the entire movie, I was waiting for you guys to get taken. Like,
well, we
from
say that in the one of the first scenes of the film,
Right.
so we have a nod to that.
From start to finish,
You
I was
thought
like,
they're like
okay,
they
here
pitched
it
this
comes.
as a rom-com adventure
Right.
friendship movie, but you're just still waiting for that to happen.
And I was like, maybe I've become, I don't know if it's what culture has done to me, what film has done to me, but
Yeah.
it's 3 girls, and they're in a foreign country. It's Spain, but they're in a foreign country. And the whole time, and they're like just trying to find their way around, and they meet wacky characters and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, they didn't get taken that time. That's the one who's going to take them. Well,
It
now
kept
they're going to
you
get grabbed.
engaged, I guess.
It did. I watched all the way through, waiting for disaster to strike.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't strike. It's not a disaster movie. It's not.
Yes.
It's a rom-com as advertised.
As advertised. We're not misleading you. It'd be
No,
worse if
no.
we said it was like an action thriller and then it just turned out to be a rom-com. So,
No, there was something in me that said this rom-com.
well, maybe you should write that version of the film and we can do it.
I will, but I won't advertise it as such.
Do you know what I saw the trailer to yesterday? Totally, was that A Quiet Place?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That I want to see.
It's
Okay.
supposed to be really, really good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. but
I haven't
it's
seen it
supposed to
either.
be,
We can all go, the 3 of us.
that's
After you do your
perfect.
hours-long recap of the show today, we can all go to the movies.
Good.
It's a
Yeah,
private
yeah, yeah.
recap, though.
Yeah.
You and I just do it.
Oh,
we
sorry.
go in the
I
back
will.
private
I'll wait.
studio.
I'll
You
wait.
wait.
I'll
Yeah.
wait in the green room.
Good.
Yeah.
Are you still having to wake up at like really strange hours, and or has your hours improved at all?
It's a little bit better now. I get up at 5:25 every morning.
Okay, that's not
Not bad.
that bad
It's doable.
compared to what you were doing before.
No, yeah, I've had periods in my life where it was like 3:30 every
Yes.
morning, which is insane.
No, how long can you sustain that?
I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to sustain it for any real manageable period of time. They say that the health effects you get from not sleeping, you can never make that up.
Great.
That's really encouraging.
Right.
I feel wonderful.
Right. That's
all these years of television.
right. No, it's bad.
Like, what can't you make up?
Like it does bad
damage
things
to
your,
you?
Yeah, to your body and your brain.
Oh.
And that's not healable, they say. So
I don't believe that.
You don't.
No, because a lot of people
You make it up later.
That's shit.
He's a doctor, didn't you know?
A lot of people have lack of sleep for a while. I'm saying this because I'm 49 and I don't sleep at all. So
No? Is that a recent thing or is that an always thing?
Since I was 7.
Really?
For those first 7 years, you slept like
First
a baby.
7 years
Like a
old.
baby because you were a baby.
Yeah, mainly because you were a baby. Yeah, that's,
I don't know what it is. It stinks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What do you do?
Lay there.
Really?
I wish I had a better answer for you. I literally just lay there.
Wow.
contemplate
Yeah.
life decisions and things like that.
It's horrifying.
Can you believe that Donald Glover has become the biggest star in like the world?
Yes.
You can.
Absolutely.
Do you think that this was like, why did it take so long?
Exactly.
Because I kind of can't believe, because with everything that he's been doing all of this whole
Yeah.
entire time.
There's nothing surprising about this to me.
You saw this coming when?
As soon as I met him.
Really?
Yes.
So you're doing Community, and you're like, this guy has all these talents.
Yes.
He's going to start using all these talents.
He has even more talents. He's an amazing artist as well, visual artist. So,
like a painter?
Like drawings, yeah. There's nothing he can't do.
How did you find out he was leaving?
He told us.
Oh, okay. He just said, I want to go?
Yeah, I think, obviously now seeing Atlanta and everything he's doing, he had other things in his brain. And I respect that.
What is it like being around a person who works on that level?
You should know.
You'd be surprised how
You're staring at him.
how unfamiliar the scenario is. But like, you start to...
He's incredibly hardworking. It would be like in between takes on Community, and he'd be in the corner like writing music or writing a script or working on a stand-up or, So I really saw the dedication that it took.
But does it make you be like, I got to pick up the clarinet or something? I got to do something more?
No, because it all comes so naturally and effortlessly to him.
Right.
And he was, he's such a hard worker. Like, he would do this show at UCB Sunday nights at like midnight, and then we'd have to be at work, 6 a.m. on Monday. And I was like, how do you do that? He's like, what? That's the show. I do it every Sunday night. I couldn't do it.
Did you ever walk off a project like that was going well that you didn't need to walk off of? Like, I was surprised that he left when it was still going well.
No, I don't. I tend to stay till the end.
Yeah.
I was still on season 6 on Yahoo. So yeah, I stayed till the bitter end. No, I've never left anything. But I understand it more. I understand watching everything that he's done. He's so talented. But I'm like very, I'm much more like, the contract says 6 years, so I'll do 6 years. Like I wish I had a little bit more, of his, everything. Talent.
There's balls to it too, to walk out and go, yeah, I'm going to get something else, or I'm going to do something else.
Absolutely.
I'm so paranoid that anything I'm doing is the final thing I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And if I leave this, I'm
job's
dead.
my last job. Yeah.
There's also something about like when somebody offers you a job and you're like, oh my God, they're offering me a job.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll do it.
Yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. I know I'm trying to get a little bit better about not just like saying yes to things just so I can say I have a job, because you just go from thing to thing to thing to thing, and sometimes you wind up there and you're like, why did I say yes to this? I'm so tired. So I'm trying to slow down a bit more.
Well, you're at a place now where you've got a lot under your belt.
That's true.
I feel like you've been creeping up on everybody. It does seem like every 6 months.
The best description of my career I've ever heard.
You're creeping up
on people.
It's lava.
But like every 6 months, there's another pretty big deal thing.
All right, cool.
Like I feel like we were just talking about Love Season 3.
Yeah.
And then this movie that you're in like every scene for, and then the movie with Melissa McCarthy in theaters.
Life of the Party. Yeah.
So you're everywhere.
Good.
And that was the intention from the beginning.
Goal. That's what I said to my agents. I want to be everywhere.
Put me everywhere.
Put me everywhere.
Why did you get your ears pierced? Like, it's a weird question, but...
Yes. Well, for the listeners, I got my ears pierced on Jimmy Kimmel on Friday. I had never had my ears pierced before. I'd been thinking about it for like the last, I'd say like year. I actually offered on Love. I told Paul Russ that I would do it on camera for a scene on Love if they wanted to, because I like have these ideas, but I'm just so sedentary that unless I'm forced to do it, like telling a talk show I'm going to do it, I'll just sit in my living room.
Right.
So I figured I want to pierce my ears. Why not do it at this point? And so I thought, if I have to do it on camera, then it will actually happen. And they'll like find the person and do everything, and I just have to show up.
Right. And plus you're accountable for it now.
Yeah.
Like it has. Like,
so now I have my ears pierced.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
It did.
Not like the worst pain I've ever been in.
It seemed like it didn't hurt that much. You were like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I mean,
it hurt like a tiny little needle going through your ear.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I like I said on the show, I saw Kyle Richards' small child get her ears pierced on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she seemed in agony. So I was too afraid. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
You're an adult.
Am I?
Yeah, I thought so.
I want to get my ears pierced just to annoy everybody in the studio.
Really?
Oh my God.
You think, would it annoy you if you got a
Yes, if he
really?
came in here with earrings every day.
You don't know the look I want to go for one day to really, but I want to bleach my hair.
Okay.
And wear a red suit and get my ears pierced.
I'm into this look. Do you have a style inspiration for this?
No, I just that would just be me.
Like a bright, like fire engine red?
I just feel like that's what's in me.
Are you going to grow your hair out so there's more to bleach?
A little bit, yeah. I can't grow it very long. I'm maroon, like gentleman's maroon.
Oh, a gentleman's. I've never heard that
burgundy.
term. A gentleman's burgundy.
Right, of course.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Because you want to be treated with respect. You're not a joke. You're not a spectacle.
No, I want to look younger. I figure I'm 49, so I want to look younger. So I'm like, get a red suit.
No, what better way than a gentleman's burgundy?
Right, yeah, right.
Just
Earrings.
shaves the ears off. Yes.
Now, what kind of earrings are you thinking?
Probably studs. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah,
what are the options?
Oh, you could have.
you can
I mean, you could have a chandelier earring. Yeah, I mean, there's so many options.
Hoops, I did think of. A couple of hoops.
That'd be
Sure,
cool.
That's
couple?
pretty cool.
All right.
One in each ear, maybe.
Are you going to do clip-ons or are you going to actually pierce your
No,
ears?
I'd have to pierce. It'd be cool.
Right, just to be cool.
Just to be cool.
Clip-on earrings aren't cool. Piercing your ears is cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm cool now. Finally,
I was just thinking that.
Would that be annoying if I walked out with my ears pierced?
Maybe, dude, I'd be furious.
Well, why would that make you furious?
Because it's like, what are you doing?
What? He's living his life.
He isn't though. This isn't him. This wouldn't. He'd be searching for something.
He's right.
It just wasn't there. It would be Jim dealing with more demons inappropriately. Like this is not. We have not even sort of
It's
tackled
the
issue.
outside in
Right.
instead of inside out. Okay, I
Yeah,
understand.
it'd be creep puts on another costume.
Right.
That's what it would be.
Okay.
Exactly. We're just
All right.
lying about ourselves again,
What
and
if
I
you do
can't
both?
stand it.
What if you're like in intensive therapy and you start wearing like a cool outfit?
I did just start therapy, but I'm not intensive with it. But yeah, cool outfit, I think it'd be.
Yeah, we could up the number of times a week you're going, and then you
No,
could get
it's
the suit.
If you start going 3 or 4 times a week, I'd be okay with a maroon suit.
I do want to bleach the hair and wear the earrings more than the suit.
Okay.
Is this something you've been thinking about for a while?
I would
all I
assume
think
since the
of.
late
Really?
90s because that's
You're
the last
laying
time
there
that
at
look was
night.
popular.
Yeah.
I just think of how annoyed everybody would be.
Gosh, that's a
That's
good
why-
way to live your life. Just
Oh,
trying
my
to
God.
annoy those around you.
That's why Jim can't sleep.
Yeah.
He's just envisioning what future Jim will look
Who
like.
was your style icon when you were in high school?
Or Bud Dwyer.
We all have aspirations.
You know, I don't really have one. You can tell the way I dress. I just the same way. Just dumb pants and awful sneakers and a Sabbath shirt. Like, I'm terrible.
Who was your style icon?
I asked a question that I don't have an answer for.
Oh,
Who was mine would be something like Katharine Hepburn. That's
Right.
like, yeah.
Right.
I was into Katharine Hepburn. So
Were you really?
yes.
Why?
I think my mom thought she would be a good role model for me as an actress, and I liked her movies, and I read a lot of biographies about her when I was a kid. So I don't know. I watched a lot of Katharine Hepburn movies.
My friend Ken Ober did some weird thing. He told me about it many years ago with Hepburn, where he did some. He helped her for the day.
Really?
He had to spend the day with her. Yeah, and she was really sweet, and she really liked him. So I think she wanted to write him a check, like a thank you.
Yeah.
And he said no, I don't want. But he said he wishes he would have gotten it now, just
For
to
the
have
signature,
that
yes.
check
Yeah.
with Katharine Hepburn on it.
Goodness.
You never met her.
No.
No, that's unfortunate.
Who was she married to? Was she Bogart's wife?
No. She was in a long relationship with Spencer Tracy, but they were never married. But she had at least one marriage before that. Fun facts.
Yeah.
The listeners are riveted.
You really do know Katharine Hepburn.
I do.
huh?
I do.
Catherine, who is the daughter and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? I just feel like throwing out a question that
Okay.
nobody will care about.
I think that was her real life niece.
Oh, was it?
Catherine Houghton, I want to say, but don't.
I think you're right.
Someone could look it up.
I just didn't know what to say when you said Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. I like that movie, but it doesn't necessarily hold up.
I've never seen that one. I liked her like Cary Grant comedies a lot. Like Bringing Up Baby, The Philadelphia Story. This show has taken
I
a
have not seen
weird
any
turn.
of those movies. I didn't.
I enjoyed them as a child.
On Golden Pond.
I never watched that one.
Oh,
I didn't
come
watch the
on.
later ones. I'm so sorry.
What kind of Katharine Hepburn fan doesn't like Golden Pond?
Have you ever seen Holiday? No, I have.
I've seen it.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
She got you. She did.
I went to see on Golden Pond. I was 13. It's 1981, and I went
Jane
with
Fonda.
Jane Fonda. Yeah, Dabney Coleman was in that. Henry Fonda, and I went with a buddy of mine. And I wanted to see. There was a 3D horror movie out at that time, and I don't remember what it was. But I allowed him. He was more cultured. Robert Levinson. Him and his mom. They were nice people. And they got me to go see
Salt of
that.
the earth.
And I'm like, this looks like shit. I don't want to see two old people on a stupid lake.
Right.
And it was great. great. It made me cry. It was like a great...
Even as a 13-year-old?
It was amazing.
You developed empathy in that moment.
I did, yeah, but I wanted to see the horror movie. I never saw the horror movie, but it won, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best
Yeah,
Film.
I think
horror movie did?
No.
Yes, surprisingly. Destroyed on Golden Pond. Won
Piranha
nothing.
3D, right?
Was panned.
Sharknado, swept the Oscars.
Incredible.
How can you never have seen that or guess who's coming? I'm stunned that you're a Katharine Hepburn fan.
I liked the early ones.
Your hair, I can see the shape of your face and your hair.
Oh.
It's definitely something there.
Did you shape your face after Katharine
Yes, I
Hepburn?
did.
Yes,
But the hair definitely is Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, thank you.
Look at you succeeding.
We really do sound like old hens.
Yeah, I seen Billy Madison. That's
Yeah,
a good
that's
movie.
a classic as well.
Yeah, see?
Yes.
Happy Gilmore, that's good too.
Sure.
Yeah. All kinds of good movies.
What else is going on? There's a man who is peeing in flight.
That's how you know. That's how you know an interview is going off into a weird place when the guest picks up a paper and goes,
Oh,
so
my
what else is
Lord.
going on?
What happened here? I see the stream of urine.
I was on a flight. Oh, that guy.
Just, you can make it to the bathroom. What's
No, that was an anger. Frontier Airlines.
What happened?
I think he was drunk, and he
No.
was apparently. I know he was doing. He just got done filming Breaking Bad, and because it looks like him.
Oh my
and
God!
He was being.
We were analyzing this photo. It's a guy, right? And he's sitting in his airline seat, and he's pissing on the seat that's in front of him. And they blur out, the private area,
Yep.
but you can still clearly see the piss stream.
Yes,
Now-
you can.
And he's not even blurred out there. His dick is just small.
Oh, my
Look
mistake.
at look on the under.
Here's what we saw in the analysis.
Okay.
The stream, it appears that he's aiming it directly in the cup holder section
Well, that's kind.
of the pouch.
Okay.
So we think that he's specifically trying to fill up that back small pouch with his urine.
I guess better than trying to pee in between the seats onto the people sitting in front of him.
Well, he was. They said he touched or groped women or was making shitty comments. He was just being an asshole.
He doesn't seem
Great.
like the type.
No, I know. I was as shocked as you are when I heard it, but
Oh, this is horrible. What
It
else
is.
do you have?
that's the greatest photo I've ever seen. That's literally that reminds me of the girl running in Vietnam, X looking out the window. That's the level of that photo. That's the level of capturing a moment in the world.
Word.
This is like something Annie Leibovitz should have caught.
It's one of those things that you just will never be able to replicate. That man, the fact that he's looking down at his dick.
Oh my
That's right.
God.
He's desperately trying not to piss on himself.
And he's clearly aiming it into the pouch, but he's not even stretching the pouch open.
But dude, he's got this.
He's got.
Look
Yeah.
at that hook.
It's amazing
Man.
his aim.
Look at that nice arc and the curve with the and he's an older guy.
He's an incredible
45.
person.
He's not that old.
But at 45, it's not to be taken for granted that he could have a stream that powerful. Am I
Really?
right? Troy, am I right?
No, he's right.
Really? What happens to men's urine?
It started
Prostate issues.
Oh.
Yeah. When I'm standing, I still can't hit my balls. The fact that
Wait, this is all news to me.
Okay.
Tell me what happens?
the fact you lose your ability because I guess your body changes. You lose your ability to fire it out.
Really? So
Yeah.
what's happening then? It's just like
Comes a trickle.
That trickle.
Really?
Yeah.
If anything's coming out of there, it's dribbling.
And half the time, you don't have to go as bad as you thought you did because your body's just telling you got to go, and you don't. So
Oh,
there's
I
not-
have that all the time. I have a tiny bladder, I think.
I went to
Fun facts.
We were doing shows in Los Angeles last week. Jim literally was peeing every 45 minutes.
Yeah. Are you drinking a lot of water?
No coffee.
Oh. You need to alternate water and coffee.
Yeah, I try to, but yeah, I pee a lot.
Okay. Well, at least you're like flushing out your system.
But not on the airplane. In the bathroom on the airplane, but not on the seat.
Not on the seat.
Not on
in
the
front of
seat,
me.
Not on the
please.
seat.
What do people
It's
do
just-
this shit? Like, what do you think? There was another thing on an airline yesterday where two deaf people, I guess some guy on the flight, they said punched her or punched
What?
their service dog.
What?
And these,
I did read that.
Oh my God!
This
what
is
a
horrible.
And the guy was angry. People think with the guy's.
He punched a pregnant woman and a dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it was.
Is this a
said.
bit or is this real life?
It's
No,
real
this
life.
happened.
The guy's he can't speak. I don't know if he's mute, but he can't. He's hard to make noise, but he's fucking furious. And his wife is signing at him to let's get the fuck off the plane.
Oh no, this is horrible.
Right.
You can't see the guy who
I
it
don't
happened
want
to.
No more bad. Oh my god.
I mean, he's going crazy. He's going.
This is not good.
He just pushed a guy.
This is not good. I think he threw a stanchion at him.
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
He did.
he said the guy hit his dog or something.
I don't like this. Okay, enough of this. Let's talk about something else.
This is why we should be flying private.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is why I started.
Are you on the? Do they put you on the Sirius
On the
XM
Sirius jet? Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Did they fly you out to LA?
Yeah, they did. There was that guy sat behind us.
Oh no! How were
He's our boss. It's contract negotiations.
How were the shows in LA?
They were good.
Did you do them at a theater? Like what was?
No,
it
we did it in a studio that's smaller than this.
Well, why'd you have to go to LA?
We didn't have.
We like to be out there.
Oh, this was. Oh.
Yeah.
No, you can't say that on air. You had to go to LA because it's a whole different
Bobby Lee
pool of guests.
Right,
Bobby Lee. I was
Bobby Lee.
in love with Bobby Lee.
And he lives in
Los Angeles, California.
Which is why if we want Bobby Lee on the show, we
You
have
got to go to Bobby Lee.
Exactly. So
What's the longest you go without working?
Right now is the longest I think I've gone since Community started. I finished to play April 1st. So
okay, so
this
we're
is like
a month, month and a half.
Yeah.
I know you're starting to get the itch. Like you're like, I got to do something. Are you enjoying?
Well, I've been very lucky that I had 2 movies come out in May, so I've been busy promoting both of those. And then once the movie comes out on Friday, then I'll be able to take a break, and we'll see how long I can go taking a break.
Are you married?
No.
Are you have a significant other?
I do.
What do you guys do when you're off?
We're never off. He is equally busy as me, so that's a problem.
So you can't just go away for a couple of weeks?
We've never gone on a vacation.
How long have you been together?
7 years.
Okay.
You've never gone on a vacation?
Ever.
Huh. What's the most number of days you spent together, one after the other?
A lot.
Oh,
We just
okay.
never go on vacation.
I see. I thought it was one of those things where like you see each other like one day at a time and then you go away. And
No, it's not like
Because
that.
that's not really, that doesn't count as 7 years. If that's
No,
the case.
we just don't go on vacation.
I see.
That's good if everybody's working all the time because you don't hate each other because you're never around each other.
That's true.
Also, a lot of people try to get into relationships with people they don't hate. So
No, but
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, that's another.
Sometimes it takes you a while to figure out that you hate the person. Though.
That's true.
I've always built it up, and I've found that every woman I've ever dated has come to the same conclusion. I'm shit.
What's your longest relationship?
Couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm really bad.
You're married.
I'm married, yeah.
How long?
I've been married for 5, I think it's almost 6 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've been with her for like 13 years. Yeah, we've been together forever, so.
That's great.
Yes. But we don't hate each other.
Yeah.
We see each other every day.
Yeah.
No hate.
But you were on some weird hours for a while.
That's true. We do. Yeah, no, that's accurate.
Yeah, you're working nights and she's getting up in the morning and you're home and it's late. You can't do it. It's just,
yeah.
How do you have sex even like that? You can't.
There's weekends.
Okay.
There's weekends for things like that.
Is your boyfriend an actor?
No.
So you
I said
can't.
that very quick.
Absolutely not.
Did you want to avoid that?
I just never really been into actors.
Yeah.
Why? What kind of a job? Is it a masculine, like a...
Is he a fireman?
Yeah.
That's what Tim's trying to ask.
No, it's not. No,
Tim's
it's not a
asking
fireman.
if your boyfriend is a fireman.
Well,
No, he's not in a very macho profession, but he's not an actor.
He's not a traveling fireman.
Traveling fireman.
Oh, does he travel?
He's a consulting fireman. No, he travels some. I probably travel more than he does.
Right. Now,
Yes.
question I had for you.
We have to wrap up too, Travis.
Ibiza is on Netflix this Friday.
This Friday, May 25th.
It's a big party movie.
It is.
You're not like a big party person in
You
real
know
life.
this about me.
I know. So
And you know this to be true.
Right. So how do you figure out how to act like you're on ecstasy and alcohol and all kinds of things like that without being like, whoa, it's me, I'm drunk.
There's a scene in the film in which we take ecstasy, and someone on set had to come up to all 3 actresses, because we're not really party people, and be like, they don't taste great, so you should make a face like it doesn't taste good. And we're like, oh, okay, none of us had ever done ecstasy. So basically, you just have to have the humility to say, I don't know what I'm doing, and be very open to like suggestions and notes from those around you who have more experience.
How did they tell you to act on ecstasy?
They didn't tell us how to act on ecstasy, but I just think they were like, this doesn't look right that you guys have the pill in your mouth and you're not making any sort of faces. There's no taste to this. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know there was a taste to it.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
You're like, is there a drug expert on the set? And just like everybody steps forward. Like, yes, we're all.
Thankfully, I've been around people who have more know-how than me, who've led me through all the things I've had to pretend to be on screen.
That's the one thing about acting that's great is if you need somebody who's on drugs, you always can find somebody that's had experience
Yes,
with drugs.
I've found a lot of help.
We have to wrap up
Why?
with Gillian because you have other interviews.
Oh, goodbye.
Producer Travis, correct?
Yes.
He says yes.
Okay.
Ibiza premieres on Friday on Netflix.
Yes.
And you're great. Gillian Jacobs on Twitter, and you haven't tweeted since September.
No, I'm on Instagram. Follow @Gillian Jacobs on Instagram.
All right. Well, you're always
By the way,
working.
Vanessa Bayer is in
Yes.
is in this film too. She's great.
Yes, Vanessa Bayer, Phoebe Robinson, Richard Madden, many wonderful people. Watch it.
Very fun movie.
Is Mauro Ronaldo here?
Well, I don't know who you asking. I've been in here.
I gotta go, guys. I can't stick around for
We'll
this.
take a quick break. Be right back. We are back. I always talk too fast.
It's okay. You get nervous.
I know I do.
The mics are coming on. It's scary. And welcome,
Mauro Ronaldo. How are you?
Speaking of talking too fast, hello everyone.
Now, Mauro, you're some kind of broadcaster. Is that?
I've been known to say a few words over the years, maybe more than most people would have liked to have heard. But
one of the first times I became aware of you was a Mirko Krokop video. Where what exactly did they do? Where he kind of punked you?
Yeah, he did punk me. That was set up by the illustrious, legendary El Guapo Bas Rutten, who you may know as Rooker from the CBS sitcom Kevin Can Wait. That should have been renewed for a third season so my man could get paid, but that didn't happen. He's a fighter of note, one of the baddest men on the planet. And when I started working in Japan, he helped get me the gig. And Mirko Krokop, even now, even though he's out of Bellator 200, which I'm doing on Friday, was looking forward to his Bellator debut. Known for being a very stoic, silent killer type, and it was my first time meeting him, and I'd let Boss know that I'm nervous of the guy. I will interview him, but I'd rather you do it so I can get my feet wet. And he's like, no problem. So he ends up interviewing his opponent, the guy that I was supposed to interview, and I go and interview Mirko, and you see on the video what transpired, and that was my third show with the company. I thought, okay, well, this chapter in my life is over, and perhaps my life is over, because when you see him walk towards me at the end, I'm thinking Kaiser Sose and Usual Suspects, and where he's walking over me, and then boom, big head kick right to my face. Instead, he goes, it's a joke. So it's lived on for 14 years, believe it or not.
Yeah,
I still
you did
get a
look
lot of
really,
feedback.
really frightened.
No,
You looked
I was
legitimately frightened.
Yeah,
like you didn't see it coming.
No, and there was a beeline to the hotel room to, I'm glad I was wearing dark pants. Let's just put it that way.
A change needed to happen. When you're doing all this stuff, because the documentary is coming out on Showtime on Friday at 9 p.m.
Bipolar rock and roller,
which is it's amazing. Like, I kind of knew your story, but the level to which you revealed in this thing is like off the charts. Like, it's as revealing as anybody, especially in your position, right? Because you're in this position of you're suffering from bipolar, but at the same time, you're as successful in broadcasting as you've ever been.
Yes.
You could easily use this moment to kind of push that aside a little bit, let the good times roll, and let me be there for my spots. And if I'm going crazy over here in a hotel room, don't worry about it. Don't look at me.
Sure.
Like, I'll see you at the next show. But instead, you kind of let us all see. It's not just a description of what mania looks like, what a manic episode looks like what if I'm this high right now, what do the lows look like? Like, you see.
And that was the entire point, Sam.
You see the emotion.
Yes.
You see, you're just pouring.
Yep, and
out.
and Jim, not to brag, you're a successful comedian. You're a successful broadcaster. What I'm saying, I believe the most successful people in this industry are touched by something. Like Robin Williams said, touched by madness, touched by fire. For me, it has been a constant struggle of trying to just, for me, work is therapy. And because of what you see, back up, the documentary had to be as revealing, as raw, as uncomfortable to watch, or else there would be no point to it. Hey, we all have a unique journey. We all had a dream as kids. Some of our dreams came true, but the point of this doc was we write about it, we talk about it sometimes, but no one, like you say, has made it as clear as we tried to do in this doc what mental illness looks like. And it's the invisible illness. We're not in a wheelchair. I'm not on crutches. People have this, it's all about the stigma. Snap out of it. You're just lazy, or you're just looking for attention. Well, here you go. This is what it looks like. Am I looking for attention, or am I suffering human being at times?
Right.
And that's where I want to just make it okay to not be okay.
It's not just looking for attention, because there's times where I deal with my own nonsense.
Sure.
We all do. But when you're dealing with it alone, like you're by yourself,
right,
and you're thinking life is good, I got to jump off the balcony.
Yeah.
It's crazy thinking.
Jim, alone in a crowd, I can be, and this is it, like this, Linus had his blanket, these headphones, this microphone, even though it's antithetical to what most people would say, because public speaking after death, the thing people are afraid of, or being on camera, this is my security blanket. And so for me, even the moment I take it off and people milling about backstage or people coming up, hey man, big fan, I'm immediately, oh my God. And there's this sense of jubilation because, wow, you get to call the biggest fights. And look at TakeOver New Orleans, man. One of the greatest events ever. Yeah. I should have been riding that high forever. Instead, not even moments later, I'm like, oh, God, I'm a fraud. Oh, shit, they're gonna fire me or
throw me. Yeah,
it's unbelievable. And
which is especially,
that's why.
It's especially unbelievable because you go over like all the shots that you've gotten and the fact that even like you talk about TakeOver in WWE.
The last year's been ridiculous, my man. Klitschko and Joshua in front of 90,000 at Wembley. Mayweather, McGregor, second biggest pay-per-view ever. AJ Styles, John Cena, 2017 match of the year. They've all been so. Without the condition, without the illness, the career from literally growing up on a dead-end road in a farm in BF nowhere to doing all of this, it's bipolar in its own sense. And even now, I sense, look at me getting more excited, more rapid, it just happens.
Isn't it it's like and I've described it before. I don't know how to say it. It's like a chemical dump.
Yes.
Like it starts at the top of your head and you feel it like wash into your upper chest. And it can be comforting or it can be very painful.
Very well said, Jim.
But it's something that you can't describe what it is, but whether it's a sexual rush or it's a rush of depression, and then all of a sudden it becomes elation. Like it's almost like it's a warmth. It's menthol.
Do you have a camera did you surreptitiously put a camera in my life and been watching? Because you're describing it to a T.
Well, if you have a toilet, I put a camera
there. But honest, how well said is that? And you just said it's hard to describe. And for us who talk for a living and do it quite well, I would imagine, that's why it had to be visceral. It had to be visual. I remember Ron Howard, A Beautiful Mind, Russell Crowe, and how he depicted schizophrenia. And I thought for the first time in my life, dealing with what I'm dealing, man, this guy, he gets the poetic, the creative nature of all this, because let's face it, and they're bipolar in definition. I don't think I'd be here sitting with you guys if I wasn't the manic part of it. I believe that has really proved to be the jet fuel that has let me reach all of these heights of success. So, there is a positive to the negative.
That's what I was literally just about to ask. When do you look at yourself and go, I'm kind of glad I'm this way because it fuels me creatively? Or do you ever go like, I just wish I was, like, do you ever look at people who are in a happy relationship and are just content? Like, we had a great time. We watched a movie, went to bed, and you're like, I wish I was that person. Like, I would love to know what that's like to be that person.
Great question. Absolutely not, because most relationships I've been subjected to are just not happy, even though they say they are. And that's the other, people always ask, well, how do you deal with personal relationships? Last time I had a serious relationship was 15 years ago. Again, Jenny Neidhart, Natty's sister, Jim Neidhart's daughter.
She's in the movie.
And that I've always been drawn to people who either get me totally or just want to ride the wave of mania. And as you see, even in the doc, but we used to have get-togethers at my friend's place. I was a nightclub DJ as well, and it's, we go 4 hours of spinning, and then we go until 5, 6 in the morning at their place just improvising, doing our own version of SNL or whatever. But looking back now, sure, if for a first glance that's entertaining, but holy shit, there's some what's up with, and I wasn't on anything. I wasn't on cocaine or I was drinking. The only self-medication I did before really trying to find right treatment was I was drunk 42 days in a row, and it wasn't a good thing. But, and as has been broached, the only thing I have found to keep me, hanging on, as Kim Wilde would say, cannabis. And I don't know if it's what it is in THC that with my chemicals or my makeup, and this is what's so frustrating, guys, as much as I'm trying to bang the drum, we have Mariah Carey and Kevin Love, DeMar DeRozan, Logic, and all of these actors. Jim Norton is doing his thing here today as well. We need to raise voices, but we still don't know what it is. Is it a chemical imbalance? Is it hereditary? Is it a product of our environment? I know that it's multi-generational on my mom's side, especially when it comes to depression. But in terms of treatment, we need more money, not less. Look what's happening to our military veterans. The amount of feedback, you guys, just based on the trailer that I've received, predominantly by men, and how open they are in sharing with me their fears, their struggles. I had an 18-year-old girl from Germany email me this morning, literally saying, and it, I can break down or whatever, saying that just seeing the trailer has inspired her to get help. She was going to kill herself. So for me, it's not about being messianic or I'm Jesus. I want to help save lives that are being they're dying unnecessarily.
Well, how does it make you feel? Like that's an amazing impact because you do sports for a living, you do this great announcing, and then you reveal something personal, and you actually realize that people are like changed by it.
This is why I'm on this earth. Honestly, Jim, I've always wanted to perform. Buddy, you have no idea how much respect I have for stand-up comedians because to me that's always been something. Wow, I'd love to just try and see. And then the crippling, debilitating fear of bombing is it's just so. For me, it's this. I want to be an advocate. I've always looked out for the little guy. I can remember being 8, 9 years old at school. We'd have hot dog days, and 75 cents. You get your little chocolate milk and your hot dog. And there was a boy there, about twice in a row. He didn't participate. And this is in the 70s. And I'm like, I went and robbed change out of my dad's pockets so this kid could have part of hot dog day. And I'm not. Oh, what a great guy! But that's who I am. That's how I'm wired. I'm Robin Hood, baby. But seriously, I've always loved the underdog. We all do, but I know that in many ways I am. So I wanted to show people, look what I'm doing. It's a constant struggle, but talking about it like you guys are allowing me to do and having you're a support network, Sam. Jim, you're now my support network. I have so many people who are wanting good things for me. I want others to feel that because people are suffering in silence and it's costing them their lives.
When you go and you showed, it kind of surprised me in the documentary that you talk about the cannabis and how that's what helped
I'm
you
surprised they allowed it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, whether it's because more and more nowadays I hear from individuals who have various different ailments that cannabis is what helps them, but I don't hear that from organizations. Have you had any blowback, whether it's from Showtime or WWE or Bellator or any of these, any organization?
It warms the cockles of my heart that I have had nothing but unmitigated support, and I know why. It starts with Steven Espinoza and Showtime because Harris Usanovich, my best friend, who was the guy I let in and let film all of this. Wouldn't happen without him, by the way. He deserves, he spent his own money, was away from his young family for days. This was a labor of love for him because he firmly believed in the message that we were going to try to get across. But WWE, Bellator, but like I say, Steven Espinoza at first said, man, we got to protect him. Like, this is our guy, he's our voice of Showtime Boxing. And as soon as he said it, he said to himself, well, that's the problem right there.
Yeah.
We have to show. So, and yes, we are, from what I hear, billions of dollars a year lost to mental health issues, people, not being able to work. And yet, if you have the flu, if you're undergoing chemotherapy treatment, undergoing dialysis, with all due respect, and I've lost people to every known illness known. How can you not then allow people who are unable to get out of bed because they're looking at the light fixture wondering if it can hold their weight? We without mental health, there is no health. I wish people, it's all just about the stigma of mental health, stigma of cannabis, stigma of sports entertainment, professional wrestling, call it what you will. I just want to get the conversation started. I don't care how vulnerable I am made to feel. If it can save one life, and judging by the feedback already, it's doing that. How the hell can anyone give me backlash?
Are you sexually compulsive or no?
Yes, sir. Wow, Great question. First time ever asked. Yes, sir. Wow, good. This is really, Ariel Helwani's show yesterday. I went out and I know Jim, because these are the kinds of shows I really wanted to do because it's not just about fight talk or this thing. That stuff needs to be addressed. I used to phone 900 numbers and just put the phone down, racking up the bill, not even listening because it was my way of sabotaging my parents. They go, what the hell? $900 phone bill. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, yeah, there is something wrong with me. But when I was a nightclub DJ, it was not good. And it was never enjoyable. It was just about trying to medicate. And there is that. And so even now, I am single, but I feel I can't be in a marriage or a relationship or bring a child into the world because at my lowest points, I would not wish what I go through under towards anyone. So, it's weird, man. That's also something I think that has to be investigated because everything's impulsive. I spend money. I spent over $1,500 buying people dinner over the last 2-3 days. I'm always that guy. I love to take care of everybody, regardless of the cost. So thankfully, Frank Shamrock, the legendary fighter who has become my best friend and manager, he takes care of my finances and helps me with my life, and I wouldn't be where I am without people like him. So I have people looking after me. Otherwise, it would be big trouble.
Yeah, it's the 900 numbers. It's funny. I remember years ago, the way to do it was you had to send in a money order. 'Cause I didn't have credit cards. I sent in a money order to California, and I got sent back the list of phone numbers you can call between these hours. And I wanted to jerk off at some crazy hour. And I remember the girl on the phone went, "What? You want to talk like that at this hour?" She got so mad at me.
And the one time I called where I really wanted to talk to someone, she went, "Hello." And I said, "Hey, how's it going? This is, Mark, I think was my nom de guerre, Mark." She goes, "Not tonight, honey. I got an earache."
Oh,
I'm like, "You son of a bitch."
What? Has
Not tonight, I got a headache. Not tonight, I have an earache. Sorry.
Has texting gotten you and then the phone? Because you got it right here all the time. You can't put it down.
Yeah, I'm a phone addict for sure. People, well, here, I'll tell you guys, it was always made fun of. I was late to the Twitter party. I came in 2009, and guys, I have 222.1 thousand tweets that I've made.
Oh my gosh! Well,
Think
you're
about
also
that.
like
I'm very interactive,
and you're a retweeting professional.
Well, I'm the mayor of Retweet City, as you know, and it's part of my way of trolling other people on the. Hey, you guys wanted to create this wonderful thing? Well, here you go. I'll send you an avalanche of shit. But look, 222,000 tweets. So, I'm very much a highly addictive personality.
Are you a numbers guy too? Like, do you keep up with stuff like that? Like, 220, okay, I got to go to 230, and I got to...
What's this say on my bracelet? 1111. And that's been another, again, whether a sign, whether whatever it is. There was a show that was on HBO that was canceled already, Here and Now, that actually had the 1111 phenomenon as one of its storylines. And I'm like, it's been something that's followed me around throughout my life. And I've always thought, well, it has to be something. Go online, you see everyone's conspiracy theories. For the most part, it's a positive thing. But I am, quirky in that way, and just the memory of names and stats and what. That's why the condition has really helped my career, but the personal toll has been severe.
What do you like? Sorry, Sam. What do you like when you argue? Do you get? I tend to get vicious, and it's almost like you're arguing with a movie screen. You forget that there's a real person attached.
I get super loud, and I go to the jugular. I have like yourself. I got a very good vocabulary, but at my angriest, the vocabulary's gone, and it is very hurtful. And that's the other thing. Like, I've threatened my family's life when I was very sick. I've obviously threatened my own, but I go from being the sweetest human being. I'll never forget when I was at a nightclub DJ. I was dating the bartender, and I was so looking forward to seeing her beautiful girl. Hey, honey, this. I come in, I say, hey, honey, how's it going? I go into the DJ booth, put the records down. She comes up, starts massaging me. What the fuck are you doing? I'm like, and the funny thing is, guys, this is what really strange to me. It's almost like I I get out of my body and I see what I'm doing and I can't stop it.
It's like watching a film. It's like watching it from another room, and then you realize you've hurt a real person.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're like, oh no.
But what I'm like, a lot of times they say, I've undergone blackout moments, I guess, where people have told me that, hey, this happened. And I'm like, wow, I don't remember that. But I remember even now, 20 years later, 25 years later, what I was doing. So why did I do it? Why, you don't, and so I get why you want to keep it quiet, why you want to just stay in your little corner of the world. But when I was doing that, that's when I was looking at the ceiling saying, okay, so I've been there. I've been suicidal, and I have lost too many people to suicide. And judging by the feedback, both online, emails, and Twitter, there are people suffering right now that need to see what I'm putting out there.
It's the rush of the anger. It's that rush you get. It's like doing a fucking popper. The rush of that anger. That becomes more important than the person you're fucking hurting. Is keeping that high going.
Yes. Oh, it's chasing the drive. Like when I was starting my career at 16, out of high school, I was the promoter. Al Tomko, All Star Wrestling, was doing a charity show my high school, and I from the womb was a pro wrestling fan. And at 4 or 5, I visualized I'm going to work, without knowing the term, what it meant, work for this company. I visualized being on American network television. I visualized calling the biggest fights in the world. I did visualize myself on stage telling jokes. Okay, I haven't done that yet. But it's like
I have, but shouldn't have.
No, believe me, you are amazing, my friend. And then I love, just like I say, even this conversation means a lot to me, because it's cool to have someone also sharing, which you're doing. And maybe you do a lot, which I appreciate. But for me, even looking back then, they were like, holy crap, you're a natural on the stick, your energy, this and that. But when I look at the interview, because we have VHS tapes from my TV show, my life has been on camera, all of it.
Right.
And so I'm like, holy crap, man, I look like I'm on cocaine or something, but it's just me, the rush.
So the documentary is Bipolar Rock and Roller, and it's Friday at 9 p.m. on Showtime. So in it, you talk about a period that I was obviously aware of because there were a couple of spots. Showtime was one of them, and WWE was another one where you had to walk away. Yep. And to your surprise, both organizations called you and said, no. We're going to find a spot for you. We're going to welcome you back in. So because I'm so attached to the WWE community, I was aware that when you when you disappeared from WWE, at first, people didn't know you had a breakdown. A lot of people didn't even know about the bipolar thing. And what ended up happening was there was a lot of scandals on the internet and bullying this, and other people were getting blamed for that. Did you think that was a fair thing, or were you kind of going like, this isn't true? What's being reported here?
Very tough time personally, because it took me until the age of 46, and my best friend Michael Jansen, who died at 19, who really, his death is what triggered my first meltdown that led to the diagnosis.
How did he die?
Yeah, heart attack, believe it or not. And his family, his sisters and his mom and dad just arrived today. They're here for the premiere. I call them every year, no matter where I am, July 6th, the anniversary of his death. But to get to your point, the reason I say that, when we were 18, I'll never forget, I picked him up at his college class, and all he said was, I can't wait until you work for Vince McMahon. So that was when he was 18. It took me until I was 46 to get to WWE. Incredible feedback, amazing. You talk about euphoria, you talk about the mania, the run, working with Jerry Lawler right away. Incredible run. I quickly realized, wait a minute, as tough as this schedule is, and you know it, my man, what the sports entertainers, these athletes, 52 weeks a year, guys. It's amazing. It's unreal. And I'm just an announcer. So take that and add Showtime Championship Boxing, Bellator MMA, other VO. Like, I had this whole other 2 careers going on. I thought, I'm Superman, I can maintain. No, the schedule, just the stress of doing all of it was starting to take its toll. And so, yes, you can, I don't want to address anything else, because all of that is bullshit. And then there were people that, of course, every working relationship you have to navigate. You're not always going to get along with everybody the way you would like to get along with your colleagues. But WWE, like you say, for all of its, the giant corporation that it is, and anything you may have heard, Paul Levesque, Triple H, Michael Cole, they called me and said, we got to try. We know, the quote from Paul Levesque was, Mauro, maybe I'm wrong, but I think this business is in your DNA. I said, absolutely right. How can we make this work? And it's funny, because when they first approached me and they said, we want you to come and work with us, I said, is it for NXT? I love the underdog. Pardon the interruption.
Marquee races are